5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bonifay Banter podcast.
All right, gang, saddle up for this one. Reed Hansen, Trevor Hansen in the studio, Claremont legends, wakeskate legend, wakeboard legend, and a Brothers Banter episode with Shane and I in the studio. How many Brothers Banter? I think we did Trent Stuckey, Gavin, and then we did Cruising.
Cruising Blaze, and now Trevor and Reed. See, it's actually Trevor and Reed. You went Reed and then Trevor, which I don't want to be crazy, but.
You think I should have went Trevor first?
Well, nobody really says Shane and Parks Bonifay. They say Parks and Shane Bonifay. You know, you got to go with the older brother first.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I was started out. Bullcrap. You don't like that, Reed? You don't prefer coming first on the. Well, welcome, boys. Your local Claremont neighbors here. Quick little drive.
Yeah,
over here.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it.
Yeah, always glad for a Brothers Banter, and glad to have you boys on.
We've been wanting to do it for a while. We always,
honestly, since I heard when you were on Grab Matters, I really enjoyed it. I texted you right after, and I was like, that. I listened to it, and I was like, you did so good on there, and you had just your knowledge of stories and history of Wake. I was like,
what about Reed?
That's why he wanted Trevor first.
It all makes sense.
Hey, it's good that you were able to come along.
Well,
so this was probably.
Reed, I think you killed it. Like on Grab. I think
So this was a banter between you two. Park said I want to have Reed on. Shane said I want to have Trevor on. So you guys settled with both.
It's 50-50.
Yeah,
Brothers.
Let's address the Gator in the room right now. Reed brought some special gifts. I think this one. Reed, break this down for us. This is a real legit gator skull that you killed yourself.
So yeah, I don't know if it's so much of a hobby as an obsession, but I do a lot of gator hunting, and this is one that I took out of Lake George a couple years ago. This one was 10'7", and
damn,
it was obtained legally, and we had tags for it. So
don't come after us. Right?
Yeah, gotta say that.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you trap it? Like, what's the process?
There's a couple different ways that you can legally hunt an alligator. This is all with tags, of course, in the state of Florida. Some people do it with crossbows with a line attached. Some people do it with bow and arrows, a line attached, harpoons. We do it with offshore fishing poles with big treble hooks on them. So you basically
catch
go
a
out,
big old fish. Huh?
Exactly. Go out in the daytime and look for them, find them out on whatever lake or county you have tags in, find them physically like way across the lake because they always go under. They're trying to hide from you. You can't see them for very long. They'll go to the bottom. And usually if it's a big enough gator, it's going to make a disturbance on the bottom, whether it's bubbles or just movement in the water. And that's what we're just trying to pick up on.
So you let it get real still again, and then you'll see like the bubbles coming up from where they disrupted the mud or
exactly.
something.
And 9 times out of 10, they're like within 20 feet of where you last saw them.
So they don't run too far.
They usually don't go too very far. So then you get up on them and you start casting those hooks over there.
Trying to snag them? He's not actually trying to eat the hook.
No, he's not trying to eat the hook.
You're just trying to feel him. You know roughly where he is and you're dragging, and then you feel him. And
and
then
you'll know. Yeah, as soon as that hook sets in. And when I say sets in, their hide is so thick that it won't penetrate. So it's just hanging on to their skin. But they know, so they take off. And it's like, it's not even like comparable to fighting a fish because the only way to like get an alligator to the boat is with a community of hunters. So like there's like 4 people on the boat. So as soon as the first hook goes in, now it's time for the second. So he'll go out and he'll slow down and be out there. You can't pull him off the bottom. It's a 300 or 400 pound alligator, right?
Damn. Have you been out with him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Trevor's killed a bunch of them.
And if I would have known we were bringing heads, I would have brought mine because it's an inch bigger than this one.
Word. Damn.
Matter of inches.
Is this white though? This thing.
It's not. It's got the skin on it still.
So you'll hunt, go find him again, then throw another snag on him, and then he just keeps on rolling into him.
So
and taking
usually, like they won't. A lot of the times they do roll, but usually like first hook, second hook, they won't roll. Third hook, even they won't roll, and then you. Like the finishing touch, usually by the third hook, you'll be able to see the alligator. They'll either surface or you can pull them up near the boat. So at that point, you know if you want to kill it or not.
They get tired.
They'll start to get tired. And then you like pick, you're like, okay, is this thing, 10 foot? Is it 8 foot? because you saw it from the
Because
other
you
side
only
of the
have
lake.
one or two tags or something. So
Exactly.
You're being really selective on like which gator you're kind of trying to catch.
Exactly.
And if it's not the right size of gator you want, you just clip it.
Yeah,
and
well,
then let
either
them untangle
you know,
themselves.
you can cut the line, and that hook's gonna fall out. We usually keep something on the boat that we can pop it out with,
Kind of
like a paddle or an oar, and we'll stick it out over and pop the hook out.
Bi-level wake skate, just right in there.
It's pretty wild though, because a lot of times like that gator will be pulling forever and the hook just comes right out. Like it's not even on there at all.
It's that tough of skin.
It's that tough.
It's a 100-pound test, and you're hammering on it, and then you'll get up to it, and it'll just, as soon as you let it loose, it just falls off.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like as you're trying to get a second or third hook in them, you'll knock the other hooks off because you're trying to get more hooks in. And if one of those lines touches, if it touches that hook, it'll pop right off.
Damn.
That skin's got to be so gnarly to really get up into.
So then the last, or not the last step, but the next step is we use a hand line. So it's a massive hook on a rope. So once we get them right next to the boat, we'll throw that over there. And then when you set the hook on that thing, you lean your whole body weight into it, and it's it's actually.
So when you get him next to the boat, you're big hooking off this rope, and then that's when he starts to tangle himself.
Yeah,
because
that typically penetrates the hide, and that he'll roll up in that, and he's done. So you've heard of the bang stick before.
Yeah.
You use the bang stick to finish them off. And
right.
It is really ceremonial at that point.
How old do you think this guy is?
That one's probably 30 to 40 years old.
Ooh,
damn.
Yeah.
Respect.
Like usually like 1 to 10 years will get you like an 8-foot alligator. So the rest of that growth is over the next 50 to 80 years. Like the really big ones are over 50.
Really? They're
I remember you telling me that, like,
Mm-hmm.
like the first few years is to 7 foot or something, and then after that,
it's like a
it
foot
just
every
slows
year
down.
until they get to like 7 or 8 feet, and then it starts to slow down.
That's so crazy to think, because we've seen big gators, but you don't realize that it's
they're dinosaurs.
40, 40 or 50 years old. Like,
so how big is like a 13, 14 foot? Like the biggest ones.
They're like 80 years old.
80 years old, just
70 or 80 years old.
True dinosaurs.
damn, man.
And you think about like deer hunting or whatever, like normal game is like a deer only lives 8 years. So that thing has to survive for 5 years before it's like a massive deer that you would want to shoot. But that one has to survive for 30 before you really want to take it. So it's kind of crazy to think about.
All the big alligators that he's killed are older than he is.
Yeah.
So.
Probably old your dad. Damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This thing is sick.
Yeah,
dude.
he donated this to the studio, which we greatly appreciate. And then, ladies and gentlemen,
Probably one of the best.
he's giving this to a Patreon member tonight for Spin to Win. So this is the Spin to Win prize right here, and this is a legit gator head. You didn't give us the backstory on this one. You didn't.
So I didn't kill this one. It was from a local tannery, but we were tasked with making our own trophies whenever we hosted the events for the WakeSkate tour. So this was the last Battle Falls that ever happened. That was the first place.
Damn, so you're giving someone an old Battle Falls trophy gator head to a Patreon member. I hope y'all appreciate this shit, man.
Yeah.
This is like true relics right here, and this means a lot, dude. This
I mean,
is
the
crazy.
gator head alone is cool,
This is
much less
crazy.
like it being a trophy, the first place trophy for Battle Falls. Like it's just a double. It's a double banger.
And so this is the actual real skin of the.
Yeah, that's like a real legit actual gator head with their real skin, and then it's cured in formaldehyde so that it lasts forever.
Damn. Good.
And even in my attic for a couple years. So
Good prizes tonight. Good prize.
Dude,
I
this
love
is
it.
a hell of a prize right now.
Yeah.
This is pretty
I can't believe we got this guy for the studio though, man. Like, look at that.
crazy how white it. You didn't bleach it all, or like what's the process in kind of cleaning these skulls? I heard gators are like one of the hardest creatures to kind of skin and get the skin off.
oh yeah,
is that true?
skin for sure.
Compared to like deer and kind of like what it's skin and
Yeah, there's
coons and rabbits and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some animals you can you get it started and then you can literally just peel it off, but that's not the case with a gator. Their skin is super tough. But this is called let's call it a European mount, and I didn't do it, but the flesh was eaten off with beetles, and then they bleach it afterwards.
Whoa, the beetles eat the skin and
Beetles
everything,
eat the
and
skin
all the
and
little details.
and all the meat. Yeah.
Savage little bastards.
So you can do it you can boil it, or you can do it that way. But
How long does that take when the beetles just run wild on it?
I think it's only like a week.
Damn.
some hungry beetles.
Maybe eating good.
Yeah.
Out here in Claremont on the Hansen property.
I love it.
You go with them on a lot of these on gator hunting. Do y'all do it here in Claremont, or do y'all usually go to like?
Yeah, sometimes. Well, because you have to get tags, and each, like you said, each person only gets 2 tags, and so if you want to go a lot, you got to have everybody apply and everybody go get tags.
Well, then more gators for the crew. Like, turn it into a group effort, huh?
Yeah, and Trevor usually, like I typically apply for like the best gator spots, like the Lake Georges, the Lake Okeechobees, Jessup, that kind of stuff.
Trev goes for the biggest gator spots.
I go for the easy ones.
Trev goes for the easy ones. He goes for Lake County so we can go in the backyard.
Yeah. I like that. That's what I would be.
It's a nice strategy.
It's super fun too,
especially having the kids and like being able to just go out back instead of having to drive a couple hours.
Put some lights on them and then cruise up on them and stuff.
And signing up for it to get the tags, like you're like, you can already do the math. You're like, I don't want to go down to Okeechobee. Like that's far.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna. Let me just sign up closer. That seems, and then it's a raffle anyway, so you don't even know if you're winning. But you're like, I'm also not. Even if I win, I don't know if I want to go down there. Yeah. I get it. I'm right there.
It is fun to go on those big lakes though, because they've got some humongous alligators and just the amount of them. There's so many.
Yeah.
You just keep driving and driving. You see the biggest reddest eye, and then you think, can you tell how big they are by how big the red is?
So sometimes we go at night, but usually we go in the daytime.
Oh, really?
So that's like binoculars. Like you're actually
all the clips I see of you like taking these gators into the boat. It's like 5 a.m. Y'all cruising back or something.
Yeah, it's usually like desperation. If we're like not filling tags by the end of the year, we start hunting. We don't get picky, you know.
Yeah.
And but the most ideal situation is today. Like today was glass calm and 80 degrees. That's when gators are going to be just in the middle of the lake, sunning. They're just like floating up.
Because they want to stay warm.
Getting
the
their
water
full body
starting
out of
to
the
get
water.
cold. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll either be on the bank or in the middle of the, just floating out there. So you can go out and that's why it's easy. It's easier to find the big ones in the daytime because at night you see all of them. So you'll go up. It's hard to tell between a 2-footer and a 10-footer at night because their eyes both glow. So you get up there and you're like, it's a 2-footer. But where in the daytime you're not going to see the 2-footer. You'll just only see the 10.
Well, if you guys get tags for Polk County, I will tell you that on the lake that we grew up on,
I was going to ask you what the gator's name that we
Sir Oliver. So whenever we were young and grew up on this lake, there was a gator that lived on the far side
Lake
of
Haynes.
Lake Haynes, on the far side of our lake that we called Sir Oliver. And this thing, there was just rumors and stories of like we were guessing that he was probably like 16 plus.
No,
foot.
he had to be like I saw him one time and I think it was like legit 13 and a half, 14 foot. Like his head was like
really monster.
But that was 20 years ago, so imagine that. He could
You think he's still alive?
He might be a
doubt
state
it.
record.
I doubt he's still alive.
If he's alive, then he's got to be flirting with a state record. He should show up to some contest or something.
Yeah.
If gators do that.
I mean, there's a bunch of Polk County boys that are probably, getting tags.
Yep.
That they probably know about Sir Oliver, and I bet he's sitting on somebody's table right now.
We saw so many gators like when we grew up on Lake Haynes, like compared to like Claremont out here, you hardly ever. I mean, they're out here, but like on Lake Haynes, like. Yeah. Dude, we would see like
so many
5 or 6 a set, and they would just be up. Boat would run up on them. They'd thrash the water, go away, and like we just kept on.
Like with the ski school, mom would have to go out and ride the boat around before the ski students were up and like after breakfast. Like she would have to get on the boat and go drive around and try to scare them into the weeds because like these northerners would come down for ski school and. If you didn't do that, first pass out, they would see 3 or 4 of these gators. They're like, I am not getting back in this water. Like, even though they were probably only like 4 or 5 feet most of the time.
One time the wind was blowing at our house and this gator went belly up and just was all bloated and was on our shore bank. And like mom like went down there at like 6 a.m. Fucking then because she has like 15 students at the house and they're all from like you said, like the Midwest, and they are not about that gator lifestyle. So like if there's even a whiff of a gator, and this thing stunk too.
Stunk so
it was
bad.
Straight at the house. Mom wakes up early and was like, what the hell? Betty B goes down there. Shout out Betty B. She goes down there and ties a
sequence hat and all.
She goes down there for sure. At like 6:45 in the morning, before all the girls and everyone woke up, she ties a rope around this gator's head, ties it up to the boat, and rips this thing to the other side of the lake at like 35 miles an hour.
That's awesome.
Gators on planes just like rolling back, dude. Savage.
Yeah.
Betty B.
She had no.
That gator was not.
She had
gonna be
no
there
temper
with
for the Gators. She was.
You don't mess with Betty B.
Is that-
The Bonifay Ski School paycheck, dude.
Yeah.
Is that the only alligator to ever barefoot?
Probably. That's definitely hydroplane
It
record
was-
for. He definitely ripped.
Yeah.
Had a short career, but
and
like,
you think the other Gators see that and they're like,
whoa.
that we're not messing with this old
Yeah,
lady.
next
Like,
lake.
this lady's,
Next
yeah,
lake.
let's go to the next
Yeah,
lake.
don't show up on
So-
that beach.
That thing was dead and she still drug it across the lake. You
Sir-
know, like,
Sir
What else are
Oliver
you
was
gonna do
like,
to it?
I'm
You
out.
can't sink it.
yeah.
Even
I know.
Sir Oliver probably saw her coming across and was like, this bitch crazy.
What about back in the day? Do you remember the gator that was up on, I think it was Bosco's shore? And like we all went down. We were young, I think, at this point, and the game warden or whoever came out. But like, I remember, just walked straight up to this thing.
They caught it with a hook, and then they got it on shore,
Yeah,
took
like,
it out, threw it in the back of the truck, and then gone.
Yeah, but I wasn't down there for the shot, but it was a shot heard around the world. I was like, oh, that's what
Yeah,
they
you
do.
think
when
that was Kenny-ish?
oh, dude, I was like, man, those guys don't joke. And it was like, he just was like, showed up. Where's the gator? All right, there. Yep. Oh, okay, cool.
Cypress
Good.
Gardens, I rolled up when I was probably like 5 or 6 years old and like walked up and saw this like probably like 10-foot gator with his fucking brains on the beach right there. They just took that thing out. I was like, y'all bet the park opens in about 2 hours. We might even need this rake in there.
What did they do? Like, it's happened on Clear Lake before, like when we call in a gator and then like they come and get them. Like, what's happening there? Like, where do they go?
So most of the time they're just killing them.
They're just taking it.
They
and
just,
like,
they just kill them.
They
A lot of the
relocate?
times they kill them on site. No, they don't even relocate them. What guys have started to do that used to be the skin used to be really valuable. They used to sell it overseas. It's less valuable now with everything being fake. So they don't. There's not like a huge market for the hide anymore.
Damn.
Like there used to be. But now
Is that why they made the fake stuff to kind of put a disvalue to the real stuff?
beats me? But probably it makes sense.
Does
Probably
make
some
sense.
probably some PETA stuff. You know.
Yeah. But I mean, let's preface this with, you know, gators are a nuisance here in Florida at times. Like
Yeah.
there
are so many of them.
like
Well,
what we're talking
anytime
about.
that you call FWC, like if you call them, they're going to come remove the alligator. They won't ask any questions. You just call them and say,
Yeah.
we want this gator gone, and they come and take it.
yeah,
Yeah, you can say they looked at me funny and they'll
Yeah.
come take it.
yeah, no, respect.
But a lot of them now, so like if they do trap it and then they'll take it live, those guys are getting more money for them because they'll bring them. So say it's like a 10 or bigger, they'll bring it to a farm and people will sell hunts, like a private land farm. So you can go and pay to go kill a 12-foot alligator.
10 footers all day around here, huh?
Yeah. So
That's interesting. So they'll relocate them to a private place that like they charge people to hunt and they use their gator
I like
tags
that.
to get a guaranteed big bass,
Yep.
so to speak.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
a big market because then you can shoot them and stuff too, right? When you do those private hunts,
Yep, the
because
private hunts.
the rules change a lot because you're not allowed to shoot them if you're hunting them.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, what's more fun than like snagging it and
Nothing.
chasing it down? Like
absolutely
shooting
nothing.
it with a 30-06 from like how fun is that?
not interested.
yeah, but if you're like from somewhere else and you've never
True,
seen an
yeah.
alligator
I ain't
and stuff,
getting in that
like
water, but I'll
yeah,
shoot 'em from shore.
Yeah, people like to do that, but if you've done it before, catching them on a fishing pole is the greatest thing.
Yeah. It's the most anxiety ridden thing. Like I've killed so many now. And every time I'm like so anxious whenever we hook into it because it could pop off at any moment. So it's like as soon as the bank stick goes off, it's like a stress relief, you know?
Yeah,
Damn. And you only have 2 tags, so how do you apply for a tag? Is that hard to kind of? Do you got to be from Florida? Do you have to?
You don't have to be from Florida. It's in
You
May.
hear that, Patreon members? You hear that, Patreon members? If you want to apply for a
It is.
double tag,
It's like over 1,000 if you're out of state. And then for in-state, it's like 265 or something like that for 2.
but and you like it's a raffle though. They only pick a certain amount of people to do it.
Yeah, each
So
like,
you don't have to pay for it unless you get selected. All right, so you can sign up for as many, and then whenever it gets picked, you get picked. You're like, all right, I'm in.
yeah, and like he was saying, like he applies for like the difficult lakes. That's there might only be 20 tags for that entire lake, and there might be
Yeah,
2,000 people that apply for that lake. But some of the lakes in some of the counties, it's pretty easy to get them.
Yeah. Yeah. If you will settle for a bad county then you can hunt every year, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because they're just a little more scarce and harder to get.
It's rural. Nobody wants to, like, in the Panhandle, there's way less people, and nobody really wants to drive all the way up there and go hunt them. So there's always leftover tags in the Panhandle.
Nice.
Panhandle. What's out at Gary's? I think because the last the Blue Lake out there, we just did that island hopper photo shoot with Red Bull, and they the last hurricane had like a huge like surge that came over, so that water's like all brackish now.
Oh,
There's
really?
like crabs and like snapper and stuff in there. Like, and they said that he said they saw like a crocodile in there. He says it's like more yellow, kind of two-tone.
Did you see it?
Didn't Super
Yeah.
did y'all shoot?
Well, I think that we saw it. We had a house that we owned that was only like 30 minutes from there, and there's crocodiles in those canals that are on the water. I never.
That's full of salt water.
It's on salt water in the canal. I never saw one there at the house, but
Makes sense why
we're pretty sure we
crocodile
saw
would-
one out there at Gary's. It was either the biggest alligator I've ever seen or a crocodile.
It's visually that obvious. Like you can tell it looks that different.
Yeah, their
than a
heads,
gator.
their
Seen
heads look
gators
alike.
your
They're
whole
so
life.
narrow. I know,
Yeah.
but it's like it's so narrow. I know it's so narrow, but it's like if you saw it from a distance, it might be hard to get a gauge on it.
For sure.
But like, I don't know. No.
They're a little lighter too.
They're a little lighter colored, and like
Yeah.
if you look at a gator, like you're gonna see usually just his eyes and his snout that are sticking out of the water whenever they're laying that way. But to me, crocodiles always look bumpy and like jagged. You'll see their head looks older.
Yeah, they look a
gnarlier,
little bit more
Flatter,
gnarly.
kinda- flatter and
definitely
skinnier.
even more dinosaurish.
They're nothing.
Love it.
I mean, people get confused the alligator and the crocodile, and I tell people it's like comparing a German Shepherd to like a wolf. Like from 100 feet away, same creature pretty much. Like one maybe a little bit bigger, but they are mentally two totally different animals. It's almost like a gator's almost domesticated compared to like a salty crocodile.
Yeah.
Like they are
Right.
a salty crocodile is a hunter, killer, stalker, a true predator. And I'm not saying gator's not a predator, but they just get mixed up in some bad situations. How do you not eat a Shih Tzu that's only like 6 feet in front of you, dude? Like, come on.
I like the vouching for it. He's in a bad situation. It's
Okay.
not, you can't blame, it's
How
just
long
like
do you want the
talk-
golfer to look for his golf ball in this fucking water before I eat you? You know? It seems like to get bit by a gator, you almost got to be like asking for it in some ways, or like kind of be flirting with the idea to where, like, I've done some shoots in Australia in the Kimberley Islands up in the northwest part, and it's like real salties up there. And like the tide would go down, and we would do checks. We had a pickup ski. Every time you fell, this pickup ski's right on a sled out of the water, going back to the boat. And we would drive our whole line looking on the shore banks for slide marks going in. So when the tide drops, they would be up there still sunbaking, and then eventually they slide into the water. But when the tide was low, you could see like this whole line. You could see how many slide marks were going into the water, and you'd be like,
There's
ain't
a
right
lot.
in here, not right, like, or right in there. Like, but
That's so creepy.
dude, the
it's
safety
funny.
protocol we went through on that trip was crazy.
Well, it's funny because that's the way that people look at Florida. Like we don't hesitate at all to jump in these lakes and swim around, and it's no problem. But everyone that comes down here is like, "Are there gators in this lake?" And you're like, "Yes."
yeah. Safe to say, if there's like an ocean, if there's salt water in it, there's probably there's gonna be a shark in it.
You boys ever had close encounter with a gator? Like riding from when you were kids or whatever?
We've got
Like
a-
what's the closer?
Got a ton of funny stories from the camp revolving alligators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A kid landed on a gator
Oh yeah.
at
A
the
what?
camp back in the day on
Yep.
Lake Harris.
A kid landed on a gator.
He fell on, and the gator must have been right under the water where he landed. And the gator, it was a huge gator, and it flipped, and its tail came out of the water. It looked like it was eating him, and we were like, I was in the boat. We ripped back. The gator was just taking off.
Yeah, yeah.
was
and he was
scared
just
to get
scared.
away.
But yeah, it was totally right there.
Yeah, it literally looked like it's just eruption, tail flying. He's gone.
There was no one getting in the water after that happened. Like it happened, and everyone was like, "I'm good. I don't want to ride anymore."
I'm good.
Hey, weren't you there when you made me cry?
Oh yeah, yeah, I was there for sure.
I was
I'm
making
sure.
sure it was you and not one of the
I
other
mean,
Scout
which
guys.
time?
Can't
So
be just
which
one
time?
time,
Yeah.
right?
So I was like
It's cry,
13.
baby.
I was like 13. And this is Lake Harris. Lake Harris is still known to have a bunch of big gators on it. And my parents used to moor a boat at Lake Harris. So they would just have it tied to a buoy, and then we go show up there. It was at this little marina.
So you had to swim out to it, or
So
something?
you had to swim out to it every day to go get it. And
On Lake Harris.
On Lake Harris.
I don't like that. I don't like that
Not
at
a,
all.
not a
And like
far
you-
swim, but like
like
a
you-
20, 30-foot swim.
And like you said, Reed, like Lake Harris is synonymous for like having like gator.
Tons of
Like they
gators,
used to relocate them there back in the 80s, 90s. Like this lake is infested with alligators.
It's
Yeah.
attached to Lake Griffin, that is notoriously one of the biggest alligator lakes in
and
the
not to
state.
mention, you're not allowed to hunt Lake Griffin. So
Yeah.
Too easy.
they get it shut off.
They
So
hunt-
the gators
they
just
hunt
grow.
you.
Yeah. So this is at if you know where it is, the Boondocks. It's a restaurant / marina. And we used to keep the boat there. And it's the only thing that's in that part of Lake Harris. So there's lots of just gators and weeds around. And I was the one, because I was 13, that I had to cover the boat at the end of the day and swim back.
Grommy.
And I was really bummed about having to do it. And so I did it. And then I was about to jump in to swim.
What'd you do, Trevor?
And a gator,
You'll hear.
a gator popped up in between me and shore.
No.
We're talking 7-foot gator.
No.
Legit alligator. So these guys
And
are like,
everyone's kind of freaking at this point.
Well,
These
we're
guys-
all laughing
these
because
guys are like,
Reed's stuck on the boat, and
Yeah.
we're like, just jump in and swim.
come
You
on. They're
swim
giving me
right
such a
past
hard
them.
time. And I just started crying. I was so terrified.
I feel you, dude.
Yeah. So it eventually started throwing sticks at it. It was like just sitting there at first. And then it finally went under, which now that's twice as scary.
Yeah.
Like,
You would
you
rather
don't even
almost
know
have
where it
eyes
is.
on it. Yeah.
So it went under. So they stewed up a plan. They threw a handle out. They tried a couple times. It was just far enough to where you couldn't get a handle there, kind of thing.
Sounds like such a bad idea.
So they threw a handle and it landed like 5 feet from the boat.
I
couldn't
love where
reach it.
this is going.
And so they convinced me
Feels like a movie.
to jump on it, and I jumped on it and grabbed the handle, and everybody
lured you through
everybody
the
that was
water?
there,
Yeah, we had like
ran.
6 guys on the end of the rope and just ran and pulled them as fast as we could.
I was like on plane.
That's almost just as terrifying as swimming, dude. Now you're a lure.
I was a bait.
You were
I was
just
live
a big
bait.
old
Trolling for-
crying lure, salty tears, dude. He probably smelt the salt.
Trolling for
That's so
alligators.
good. That's really funny. And you were just on the dock laughing.
I was laughing the whole
You
time.
engineered this plan, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was giving him a
Honestly,
pretty
I
hard
might have
time.
been 10. I might have been younger.
You
than
were
that.
pretty young.
I was pretty young.
Yeah.
You were pretty young.
Do you
That was a
think
long
that-
time
You
ago.
think that's why you have the grit, the gator grit you have now?
Yeah.
He's mad at those
Like you're-
things.
At this point, I've just got
proving
something.
them wrong.
I've got a chip on my shoulder.
All
I've got
this shit
something
is
to prove.
PTSD.
I
for
already-
the-
I remember
I
when
got to kill every gator, and I got to get my name said first on Parks and Shane's podcast.
Dude, you're 2 for 2.
Dude. No, I remember when we were little, we had a ski jump in front of the dock that was, 150 feet out. It wasn't too far, but it wasn't close. It was quite a swim to get to the ski jump when we had it. But me and a few friends, I don't even know if you were with us, Parks or whatever, but I remember we swam out there and we're playing on the ski jump, sliding down. And while we were out there, like we saw a gator far, and we're like, "Oh, guys, gator's there. We should, that would be the deciding factor on we should swim in now, because otherwise we might just be on the." But no, it just kept swimming closer and closer, and we were like, "Okay, we did have an opportunity to swim into the dock before, but now it's like same situation, like probably
Gotcha,
a
fuckers.
bigger and we were terrified. I remember for being out there for like 30-40 minutes or an hour, like where we were just like, what do we do? And we were like just watching it, and it would like swim around, and we're like, oh man, like not obviously we got in safe. Nothing happened. But
Did you just bolt
I think
it?
I think
You
I
didn't
think
have a whole crew with
I
a-
think it was a matter of there's probably 4 or 5 of us, so it was like everybody thought, well, odds are pretty good. Like it might not be me, but it might be one of us. So as long as all 5 of us go at the same time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
And you don't have to outswim the gator. You just got to outswim the guy.
exactly. Yeah. And it's you're not even outswimming the gator or the guy. Like maybe the gator's going for the one in front. Maybe he wants the one. Like you're just like 20% chance here, like that I'm getting eaten. 80% chance I'm not. That's pretty good.
That's
I'll
pretty
take
good
an
odds.
80.
Good odds.
I'll
Those are
take
betting
an
odds.
I'll take an 80% chance almost every day.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
never know if the gator's like coming for you or like going away from you. Like the only gator encounter besides the
Parks is
F1
good.
barefoot one that we did, which is all kind of like set up and staged and shot. But this one was like my dad was driving me, and we were on the other
I
side.
remember
like-
being in the boat. Yeah.
Were you in the boat?
Yeah, I was in the boat.
So I was going, and I remember I was learning switch toe roll to fronts. So cab toe rolls, not even a fun trick to really do, but ate shit on that. And then my dad went to go turn around, and then in between the boat and me, and probably like the boat was probably like 100 feet away, 150 feet away, and then like probably like 60 feet from me, this gator just erupts the water, and this fucker had to been like, it wasn't like a little 5 foot kind of like this thing blew up the water and just thrashed. My dad saw it. I saw it. I jumped out, kicked out of my boots, started swimming to the side. Dad gets the boat on plane and just comes by super fast and like lets off the throttle. And I like, dude, I swear I grabbed this platform with the boat going like wake surf speed. It was an inboard. It was like a 190, but I was not missing. It was a wood platform with like the
ridges
to where you could fully get your hands all the way through.
I loved those platforms.
Like, I just grabbed that platform, was in that fucking boat. So
no,
fast,
I loved those platforms. The wood ones with the grate.
That way you can see through them all the way.
You could just grab onto it.
Those are good for body surfing.
Really good for body surfing. Yeah.
Good call. That was a good old classico move right there. Body surfing with no weight. Yeah, we have the same kind of memories because like we could talk about this for a little bit. Like we're all ski school kids. Like Annie Hansen, y'all are raised at a ski school. Shane and I were raised at a ski school, so I feel like we had the same kind of upbringing
100%
when we were young.
One of Trevor's best friend actually brought it up this week. We were talking about this, and he said, "Could there be like two people with so much, I don't know, water ski experience? Both of our parents were show skiers,
Totally,
and then they both started ski schools.
Yep,
and then we grew up at those ski schools, and here we are, 30-something years later.
Even both all became professional wakeboarders, did the tour, traveled around. Like, it is weird.
And
like,
still involved and still is like, you judge. I feel like everyone's still involved with the sport that we loved. And I feel like we get it from our parents and kind of like the ski school and the way we were raised and stuff. And
it's not really an option. Like we're just going to do it forever.
It's just true genetics.
But it is funny that none of us have a ski school. Because because I saw what Betty and Pete went through, and I was like, I didn't actually realize how crazy it was until I became an adult. Like, I just thought that was normal, sort of like, okay, it was like they did like a summer camp little thing. No, looking at what Betty and Pete did when we were young, having 15 to 20 strangers in the house for a week, just there with your kids that are anywhere from, 2 to 10 years old. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and providing meals, taking them wakeboarding. Like, it's so weird. Like, I look at what Betty did. Like,
it was a handful. And she did that for like 5 or 6 weeks in the spring, every spring. And like if 10 or 15 people in, the next week they're out and in again. Like,
if I came to Paige, my wife, and was like, hey, I got an idea.
Check this business model.
I got this idea of inviting, we'll start small, maybe 5 to 10 people, whatever. They'll come to the ski school. They'll stay here at the house. We'll cook them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'll take them wakeboarding 3 times a day. No, definitely not doing that.
They'll have fun. They'll try alcohol for the first time ever. It'll be a blast.
We'll have a hot tub that we'll have it's like... No, but I mean, what was it like having y'all ski school, and what was that sort of people around and like learning from almost older people? Because I remember all of the ski students being a little bit older than me, and almost learning more from the.
Well, we could sit here and tell stories about it all day long because there's literally thousands. But like we were reminiscing because our parents sold the camp 5 or 6 years ago now.
2019.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, so about 6 years ago. And so we've gotten together with them and like kind of sat back and told family stories about stuff. And like, it's funny that you say that because my dad was telling us like the first week that because they bought an existing camp. So it was the Benzel Skiing Center.
Yeah. That was on Lake David?
So the camp wasn't on Lake David, but they used Lake David as one of the lakes. And the camp was, 5 minutes away. And we would drive vans all around. But when they bought the camp, they basically went from not running a camp to owning the camp. And the very first week they had I think it was 16 Japanese people that were
if you're not used to that,
and they're just like, yeah, I guess we just take these Japanese guys skiing, like day one, you've got, a bunch of vans and loading people up and taking them to the lake. And it was funny hearing my dad tell the just the the difference of he had an office job before, and then all of a sudden
This
he's
is
got
life now.
16 Japanese people living at the house.
It would be so crazy.
Going from a 9 to 5 at Regal to then doing that.
Yeah.
You're like immediately day 2, you're like, man, I might have made the wrong decision here. I might be a little over my head and totally invested in this thing that I don't know if I just.
That right arm from the throttle gets a little tanner, and maybe you learn a little Japanese, you know?
Well, that was the funny part is that like nowadays it's not that big of a deal because you can Google, Japanese words and all that. Back then it was just hand signals and talk slower and see if you can figure it out.
Some of the best clinics whenever we would go on tour, like traveling and go do like when we went to Japan and taught Japanese wakeboarders, and there would just be one like instructor or translator in the boat, and there would be like us or like whoever, and there's like 5 or 6 of these guys out there, and they're like and they'd say some shit, and then the translator would go, he wants to learn a Rayleigh, and you're like, bullshit.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go. And they're like, what do you want me to tell him? You go, cut into the wake as fast as you can, and let your arms out. And you're like, I can't explain this to you, especially through a translator. And the translator would be like
Superman.
and then they do it, and you're like, I don't know what she told him, but she definitely didn't tell him the right.
I feel like
it was the best.
I feel like coaching, when you can coach someone who's like that, you don't speak the same language. I feel like most of the coaching, if you're doing the action sport, I feel like it's a visual type of like learning the way you do it. So if there's a language gap, a lot of times you're on the back of the boat and you're like trying to like arms straight. No, like you're. It sounds crazy that you're doing it, but like when you learn to coach like that, and you can coach people almost with a language barrier, then when people do understand you, you're doing as you're telling them, you're doing the same kind of things, talking slow. A lot of times when people are ear deep in the water, the engine's running, you can't, and you're at like 65 feet, they can't hear a lot of the audio. I hear some people coach and they just talk details, and it's like they're so far they're like they picked up like 40% of it. So it's like when you can explain and coach and like do it more kind of like
we had the deaf
life.
student. You remember the deaf student?
Yeah,
What
shout out
was-
Justin.
Justin. We had this deaf student that came and stayed for a long time. Like he came for a few days and then he like extended the trip and stayed for a while. But like that's where the engine noise didn't matter. Like he could be pretty far back and you would talk to him and he would like lip read and be like, got it.
Yeah, we had a deaf student way back in the day too, but I don't remember his name. But it was very similar.
Yeah.
Like he would pick up on pretty much anything that you would
He's
try
like
to
a
tell
little
him.
bit more observant. 'cause
Very
he's
in,
not here.
very
He's not-
in tuned. Yeah, very in tuned. It's funny that you say that about the very first international trip that I ever did. I was 15 and I went, or it might have been 14. I don't remember, but I went to Korea. And the very first person that I tried to teach broke his ankle on a Rayleigh, like immediately. Like first guy in the water. Oops. Definitely shouldn't be trying a Rayleigh. Wants to learn it bad, apparently.
I was like,
They get Trevor in town, dude. They're like, let's learn the real shit.
We're learning some tricks. He snapped his ankle right in half. I was like, this is a good start. Nice. I like this.
anybody else want to try
Who
Rayleighs?
else wants to
Everybody's
go?
like, okay, I'm out.
Actually, surprisingly, everyone still wanted to try Rayleighs.
Everybody loved trying Rayleighs. That was the best part of like that early 2000s, late 90s is Rayleighs. Bang. Everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted the Rayleigh.
Something about Rayleighs and whirly-birds. People just love those things.
Love them.
Theatrically, they're the greatest tricks.
No, they're the best. I remember we went in.
the boner pop.
I did this this thing up in Maine, freezing cold water. Went up with a young kid from here in Orlando. Like he didn't have a clue what we were getting into, and we went out there and we're riding. And he goes out first, and he's like going for 7, back 7, does toe 9, does like all of these things, and like boat's dead. Boat's like cool, and I'm like, as soon as I go, let me show you how to do this, buddy. Go bust a few Rayleighs, a few whirlybirds, a few Tootsie Rolls, Superman Rayleigh. Crowd's just going nuts. Both. He's like, dude, you didn't do shit. And I was like, yeah, and I didn't get wet. And that's how you do a demo, buddy.
That's right. Yeah, I did all the important stuff.
Yeah. But he was just like, I did a toe 9, I did back 7s, I did toe back 5. Nobody even know. I'm like, they don't know what the shit that was.
So unrelatable.
Yeah, so unrelatable. Do a whirly bird. Now everybody's on fire.
It's been like from the start, though. I mean, the reason why people fell in love with wakeboarding in the beginning is just Shapiro just on the cover of that.
Abs. boom.
So inverted you can't see the abs from the boat. Dude.
I need to bring it back, honestly.
If wakeboarding wants to get back to the roots, and like all of these kids are like, hey, why did we lose all these sponsorship deals? Why is the tour nothing?
We need not enough Rayleighs.
Not enough Rayleighs.
Required Rayleigh trick.
Sam Brown first trick, Pro Tour 1, Rayleigh.
Dude.
Or a ceremonial Rayleigh. You know, it's like maybe,
give
just
the
to get this
crowd.
contest started, we're going to.
Sam
We
Brown.
got 2 early birds and a Rayleigh coming for us.
Is it Kai that's doing S-bends?
Yeah, the
Aspen
big old
Blinds,
Aspen the blind.
But
looking-
no, but
yeah,
that's what I even loved is like shortly after, like whenever Parks is going, it would turn just from, they were doing S-Spin, switch S-Spin, Vulcan, switch Vulcan.
Well,
like they would drop them,
shit
all
looked
of us.
the
Yeah.
same
No,
anyways.
yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at Dean's run back in the day.
Yeah, it was all
Maybe
the
it is
same.
coming back because the Cruisy Boy is
Cruisy Boy loves
got
it.
some
the
pretty
base
serious.
thing that-
And you
yeah.
wonder why he's got so many followers. He does S-Spin to blinds every round, or he does Vulcans. People love that
They
shit.
do. They do
Onto
love it.
Yeah.
You're onto it.
Oh man, Cruisy Boy and Blaze on the podcast were so
Blazes,
hilarious.
Yeah, they were classic, dude.
Dude.
They're so funny. They crushed a whole bag of Tootsie Rolls.
They brought they ate all the Tootsie Rolls, and they could not stop talking about what tricks they've done. And I was like, this is primo. You know, like that moment of your life when you're jumping on the trampoline. Then
We
whenever
all-
you're
yeah,
not wake
yeah.
jumping
We
on the
just-
trampoline, you're out wakeboarding, and then you come back home and you jump back on the trampoline to do. That's what they were living. And I was like, this took me back.
It made my cheeks hurt like listening to it talk. And I was just like, this is so amazing, dude. The enthusiasm and just the way they like love this shit, dude. It made me feel like I was like 13 years old
Yeah.
again.
How many trampolines do you think you've worn out in a day? You know? Like
We
just,
ran through a
Bro,
lot.
just
tie
a
that
lot.
rope to that tree, boy.
Loved it.
You remember Gino had he had a trampoline that was on an angle tied up to a tree. So when you jumped, you were actually jumping in the pendulum of so you hit the same spot of the trampoline over and over. Because you know, if you like jumped, you were like jump
Because
back
he
and
thought-
you would swing back.
Because he
So
thought
there's
that
like-
would help.
It actually was but it was a rectangular trampoline. This thing sent you deep, dude. But
those
if
things were
you
kinda
drop,
sketchy.
if you missed the handle pass, you're like off. You're fucking
That's
grass.
awesome.
It made you learn your handle passes.
It did. It did. That was the
I
point.
still can't pass on a cable.
Yeah.
One of my friends who's was a diver. They had a big rectangle trampoline, and we went over there. We played a game of wake, and I had to tie a rope up because I was too scared to do their gymnast stuff. They're like, "Oh, I did a double full," and I'm like, "That's a double whirly," and I need a rope for that.
I need a North Star.
That's a whirly 7. And
You're like,
I will fall off this trampoline if I try that without a rope.
but as soon as I got the rope, I know where I'm at, and I like got the spin dialed. Yeah, no, that's pretty good.
It actually is a shame that we didn't get to like rewinds and shit earlier because that's a really big
It
part
was,
of wakeboarding
yeah.
nowadays. And like it just seems like us jumping on a trampoline should have been layups. And I remember doing them on the trampoline. Like
Yeah.
you would
Oh,
go,
yeah.
but like it was just really hard to do on a wakeboard. But
me and Rusty went out specifically to try rewinds off a double up one time. And
like before people were doing
before anyone was doing them, we were like, I think this is possible. And I was like, this is impossible.
them. Were you trying to do a handle pass once or like wrapped up?
Handle pass. I never even thought about doing it wrapped.
Yeah, I think that was where we
Yeah.
went short.
Where we messed up.
Not to say you couldn't, they're doing them and they are doing them handle pass nowadays, but
I think Rusty committed to one and got absolutely smoked, but I couldn't even get myself to commit to it. I was like coming out of it all weird, and I was like, no, don't like it.
Yeah, I now, and this is not just like right now, but in the last few years, I'm obviously grown more. But like I remember when it first came out, and it was right when double flips off of the kickers, like during I think it was Wake Open or one of the things, but there was double flips going down and rewinds going down. Like Daniel Grant did like the toe 3 back 180 or whatever. And then some people were doing double flips and they started rewarding the rewind spins more. And I was like, I was sort of frustrated because I was like, if we don't benefit people for doing double flips more, then this might die out. And then we're only going to start doing rewind tricks because that's like more beneficial. And I was mad that I was like, you've got to give double flips at least just as much credit as the rewinds because obviously they're both hard. But if you start knocking double flips, people will stop doing them. And that's progression that we want. I want more double flips. I want double mobs. I want double thing. But I remember being mad
that's
at rewinds for a second because I was like, not that this isn't the direction we should go, but you're taking away a direction that we also could be going. And I remember
the waiting kind of came off of that though.
Yeah,
too. As everyone starts to go, Reed,
did.
you're a judge. Trev, you drive the pro wakeboard tour, like all the passes and stuff. So like y'all are kind of like definitely in on like kind of like how that kind of works out when everyone starts doing a trick that was just freshly done. And now you see every junior, everyone does it in their pass. But it's a great trick because it's one that you can compare to other tricks to where like, you know, where sometimes Crow 5s are always done the same. I feel like sometimes you can do a rewind like pretty damn good, hold the grab extra long.
Yeah. And to do it unique to you, do your own grab. But yeah, I was picking up on that. I think that you like as a judge, you're kind of a steward to which way you want to see the sport.
See the progression go.
Yeah.
You know, nah. And I'm not cutting you off, but I do want to just preface this to the listeners and the viewers that me, Parks, Trev, and Reed get to go almost to every pro tour together. Parks is over in this booth announcing
Doing
it.
live stream.
Trev is driving it. Reed's judging it, and I'm filming it.
We got it all covered.
We got it all covered.
This is the pro wakeboard tour.
This is the pro wakeboard
all
tour.
except riding, pretty much.
Yeah, no, fuck the riders. No, but like, and it's honestly when I see you two in the boat, I get ecstatic. I am so stoked to be your playlist. Your playlist is always on point.
Ooh,
You've
like
got
that. That's good to hear.
except when Max wants to ride and he wants to listen to Into
Max
Club.
is always messing with the playlist,
He-
but I appreciate it.
I do appreciate it, and I love how pumped he gets for Into Club.
Yeah.
You know, like, but it's so much fun being in the boat with you boys, and
So you get to hear the banter
I
and
come
like
back-
in the boat of all the judging,
dude.
kind of like close
I've,
calls. and
I've
shit.
come back and told you about it, and I'm like, oh, that was heated.
hard
Those
heat.
boys were going after it, and me and Trevor actually have the benefit of not being judges, but pepper in the conversation just slightly and
Well, I
being
think
like,
if you're going to get an outside perspective, it's kind of lucky that we get like you on the camera to like kind of weigh in on a critical one. And same for you, Trev. Like that's got to be, you know.
let's
that's
hear it
gotta
from
be-
one of the judges. What do you think about having me and Trev in there?
It is really
Assistant
fun.
judging.
It is really fun. That's you hit it around the head. It's fun to have you guys in the boat. As far as the comments go, you know, sometimes they're appreciated, sometimes they're not. It depends on which side I'm leaning on. It's where the comment lies. You know?
yeah.
It is really fun to throw a little salt on there every now and then
love
because
that.
a lot of times
love
they're
that.
in some pretty sticky situations trying to figure out who made it through, and then a nice comment from me or Shane will
Yeah.
be
What about he
help to stay
did
put.
kind of do this?
No. One of my favorites is they're like, I don't know. I mean, he did Crow 5, he did a 3-1, he did this, and then a Tootsie Roll, and then he did this, and I'm like, whoa, like let's not discredit this Tootsie Roll, guys. like that was pretty sick, right? And they're like,
You get disqualified in some states. for
worst
doing that,
trick
too.
in the run, and I'm like, not worst trick in the run. Like they're like, no worst trick in the run. And I'm like, all right, I hear you.
Yeah, I remember.
Sorry, Shane.
I did say that. I was kind of feeding in on somebody. I said, but then he ended his run with a Tootsie Roll. Just like that, not even remembering
Not
that
even-
Shane is next to me. And I looked over at him and he was just glaring at me. He's like, bro.
No, and it's honestly, it's one of my favorite things too. And we say it almost every pro tour. As soon as somebody, one of the junior men's or one of the pro riders, fall on a Tootsie Roll or a Dum Dum, and like it's quiet and the boat's turning around, and I'll look over at the place.
That's
and
respect.
I'm like, and I no, I'll look over him. I'm like, should I give him a tip? Should I give him a tip?
Hey, on that Tootsie Roll, hold my camera.
So you're
On that
gonna.
Tootsie Roll, you want to get up?
You want to leave the wake with your chest high. You want to leave with that.
he doesn't even he doesn't
just
even
holding your camera as you're like up on the back.
yeah, he doesn't even say anything. He's just like just proud. Pull the handle.
Who's one of the more favorite people on the tour that whenever we're driving? I know mine right now, but I want to hear it whenever you like, even just pulling them out. Maybe the banter that they have whenever we drop them in the water. Like who's one of the, and we're not throwing anybody under the bus, but I'll go out. I say Luca.
someone under the bus.
Luca is one. Luca and Sam are my two favorite because Sam, you never know what the fuck he's going to say. You could pull over and you drop him in the water after his first pass, and he's like, "Oh fuck my," and he just goes off. Luca, you almost always know what he's going to say, but
I like you asked the question and just took their two answers and then.
no. But I want to know who
I
they
was-
like. Who
I
they
was
like.
my first thought was Sam
Sam's funny.
for sure. I mean, like the riding is always entertaining to watch. You don't ever know what he's gonna do. I don't even know if he knows what he's gonna do until he's actually in the wake. And then, the stuff that he says in between falls is hilarious.
Yeah. Sam's one of my favorite on the water. Honestly, one of my favorite people to come and pick up off of the dock though has always been Massey.
Massey's great.
He's just great. Good. Like, because usually the first time that I'm seeing him for the day is as he's getting ready to leave the dock, and he's just like, "Oh, Trev," and big greeting. He's not like the dead serious guy that is sitting there in his own head. I love you.
Have a good Christmas. And you're like, it's fucking September.
Christmas. Exactly.
And then he gets mad. You're like, it's just September. It's like, it's just love, brother. No, come on. You're like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's true. All right. Well, you left two names on the table, and these are my two favorite ones to film, and they weren't on tour this year. They're wake surfers. Love it.
Another set of brothers.
Another set of brothers. The best ones, the most enthusiastic ones on tour, the Swanson brothers.
Swanee Bros.
Swanee Bros are the best. Like, I love them.
They?
No, they didn't come on tour. It's
frustrating that they're not
they
on
didn't
tour.
qualify, or they didn't show up.
I think they're working on their school. They got a schooling system going on. That's pretty.
Yeah, they've
download the hacks.
They've set competitive wake surfing aside for the coaching game.
Yeah, and we all know coaching's big. Our parents did it. Your parents did it. We know the coaching game's big, so there's no knock on that. But I always loved the enthusiasm that the Swanson brothers would bring to
their interviews. Were fucking all time.
Jet and Sean don't bring that to the table. They're out there. They ride. They're good, and they keep their head down.
I've gone over this with Sean.
Yeah.
More enthusiasm.
Yeah, but it's hard to live up to this. I mean, if you bring it up to a Swanee level, dude, you got your hands full right there. This is like borderline, like almost like wrestlers, like giving a.
It is very wrestler-esque, and that's why I think I like it. I love wrestling.
It's Ric Flair.
Well, and it's natural.
It is natural.
It's not forced.
It's not forced. Mm-hmm. You can see when it's forced, and it's not forced, and that's why I genuinely enjoy it. They're 100% excited that the tricks that they just made probably won the event, and they're good.
And they're the first time it's ever been done. You can get the name that shit. This is kind of
they're great. They're great.
Swanson Big Shove is
Swanson Big Fish. Yeah, whatever.
They do have a bunch of names, and it usually are incorporated their name in
that's called good branding, dude.
I've always been super impressed with on the surfing side. Whenever you just name out all of the Gumby, the Madonnas, the Shivanaskas, or whatever.
I love that just as shitty names as wakeboarding does too. That's good. That's
following in our footsteps. But you are very knowledgeable on the wake surfing side. Like, your shit. I'm always impressed because I'm filming it going, what was that? And you're like, you call out tricks to everybody.
And some of them they have their own name for, but I use the WakeSkate one.
Yeah, of course.
How do they feel about that? Sometimes you're like, hey,
well, it's just us judges in the boat.
Maybe you didn't do that for the first time. I did that wake to wake like 10 years ago.
I can promise.
Exactly. I could actually do that first.
I can promise you that if you miscalled one of the Swanee Bros tricks, they'd call you out on it.
Oh, they'd be really upset about it. It's a good thing that nobody's recording that.
Yeah.
But
I am recording it. That's what I do in the boat. I'm recording it
the whole time.
Hey, that's not good.
You know why I love them is because I go right in, and before I give it to Alliance and the crew at the Pro Tour, I show the Swanson brothers and I go, hey, just to let you know, Reed said your trick name wrong. I'm just joking. I never did that. But nah, I don't know.
You got to stick to the. I love you stick to the true wakes the way it's originally called.
Yeah,
I don't really know where to feel like me weighing in on this wouldn't be because I announced the tour. I go, guys, I can't announce wake or the wake surfing.
Yeah,
there's been a couple of times where he's not able to call the tricks.
You don't want to hear it.
I'm trying to call the tricks, and I'm like, I don't know.
Sometimes silence is the best for their runs. I found.
And it's not untrue. It's not untrue.
But it's like trick skiing, not like trick skiing, but like I feel like when you have like a buoy here and a buoy here, and you're like do as much as you can do.
It's very much like trick skiing.
It feels that it has like watching it. It feels like that. It's quiet. They're fucking going. Trick, come on, bam, and they get to the buoy and like that's it.
Yeah.
Wake surfing
and
definitely
then
needs a good
and then
budget.
you talk about it.
And then what a run that was. I have no idea start to finish what that shit was. But that was amazing.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I honestly loved this year. I went and did the Wake Surf Worlds where there was 2 categories of the same thing, where there was surf style and skim style. And I was like, I think this is the same sport, right? And they're like, way different. One's on a thin board, one's on a thicker board. And I was like,
I kind of like,
to each their
but
own.
I do think that like maybe because like if some dude's ripping fucking surfing
For
and he's
sure.
not doing that kind of stuff, he's not gonna like. If you're judging apples to oranges or apples to potatoes at that point, like it is kind of like if you're going to do a whole wake surf contest, I do like having the different genres within wake surfing and giving credit and a score to a fucking really good hack as opposed to doing like a big spin or something.
if that was the case, but in the surfing category, they don't just hack. They're not going
still
surf
doing 3
style.
shoves.
They're still doing 3 shoves and airs and just and grabs and
harder with
shoves.
big ass
like,
fins now.
it's the same thing,
think
but it's
pretty
like with bigger fins.
Pretty much what it comes down to is like when you're actually judging the 2 against each other. Like, how do you judge a 7 shove versus a big 3 shove? It's just hard. It's just hard to do.
Yeah,
So
big 3
they had
shove
to
with
separate.
6-inch fins.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
The surf style stuff looks dope.
Yeah, if it's me,
I
I'm
like
surf
picking the
style.
3 shove, by the surfer. But it's not really fair to judge them against each other.
that's why they do the 2 divisions.
That's why they do the 2.
We
And
we
I
we
think I
had
get
the,
it
we
right.
had the 2 divisions the first couple of years on tour when Super took over the tour. The
Yeah.
first
Well, I'm
first
not saying we need 2 divisions on the.
Well, I'm just saying the first couple of years we did have 2 divisions and it got confusing and we ended up cutting it back for time. But we did have 2 divisions there for a little while.
I like it.
I think it would be funny
Maybe they
too.
should
It's like
switch it up and go
surf style
one-
for a little bit?
Yeah, or just 1 year. Maybe like try it out.
And it totally depends on the judge as to what they want to see. 'Cause
this
it could
comes
be like
from a judge.
What do you know, Judge?
a techie skim guy might
No.
just be stoked on skim stuff, but just totally
No,
depends.
for sure. That was it's impressive that we actually went from gator killing to ski schools to wake surfing. It was a quick transition there.
It's
guys.
where you land no matter what.
It's where you land.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Hey, one thing I was thinking about was after
It's a
we're
softest landing.
talking about growing up at a ski school is when my parents sold theirs, they sat me and Trevor down and said, we'll give it to you for a really good deal and you guys can continue this on. We were both, no, we're good.
You both look at each other. You're like,
We can make you a pretty sweet deal on this place. We're like, I'm sure you can.
Yeah. Looking back, they offered us an amazing deal on that place, which was very generous, and they got way more for it than what they were going to give it to us for. So I'm glad we didn't buy it. But
yeah,
it's
no
funny
homie
how
deals
we were
in real
just
estate transactions, or even like kid deal. I wouldn't give you all no break. I'd charge y'all top price for that.
Hey, and
Too many palm trees on that one.
but realistically, if things were still carrying on from where they were in like those late 2000s, where wake skating was massive, wakeboarding was massive,
The early
everything's
O's.
growing, and it was like huge, and it was only growing from there, you two would own and be part of the best ski school. Like you could run the wakeboard side, you could run Battle Falls and the wake skate side. And if it was growing to that point where you're like, yeah, this is totally beneficial. Like I don't think it's a stupid idea. I think you guys made a very good decisions going, yeah, no, we don't want to own a ski school, but it would be a good ski school.
Oh no, it's fun. It's a totally different lifestyle than
It is. It's
and you got to be really one to do that.
when I see people that do like move on to doing ski school or even just like taking people out on the boats, like I just heard during the wake surf, not to bring it back to wake surfing, but when I was out of the wake surf worlds, I was in the boat and I was listening to Sean and those guys talk about what like was it Ashley Kidd? How much she makes?
Ashley Enlows probably.
and kid.
And Kid.
all
Does she
of
coach a lot?
All of these people that just do schooling, it blew my mind. It blew my fucking mind how much money they are making just doing 3 sessions on a boat a day. It's crazy. It's into like they're making probably like 10.
You don't gotta
like,
say a number. This ain't that matters.
Yeah.
Well,
No. Okay. No. But what is that?
What's
What's
the
that?
number?
What's that look
That
like?
u- that used to
What's
be-
that look
I'm
like?
just joking.
What's that look like?
That used to be a full
it's
week's tuition at the Bonifay ski school.
it's
You know?
But I
it's
think
mind
But
blowing.
I think it's like, how much do you charge before too much? Like, what's the rational?
What do you?
I mean, you're getting.
Do you think,
I'm just saying, like tips and tips are tips from whoever you get them from. And I'm not saying like people should make more money, but like it's like, what's the line of like how much is too expensive to pay for wake surf tips and then and have that be fair and like sleep at night kind of thing. I don't know. It's like I guess get that green, get that money.
You gotta get that green, but
at the
also
same time, I'm trying to be.
Even if I teach you to be the best, you're not going to get what you're paying me out of this. You know, that's the thing is like, if you're paying me like $5,000 to teach your kid how to do everything, that's like, you're not making much like
I think when you're paying that, you got to get the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got to get the experience. You got to get the pool parties. But you got to get like everything that comes off the water, showing up and doing a demo and charging a shit ton. And then just having that be the experience and taking a couple photos and signing a wake surfer.
It depends on the person that's coaching, because like a lot of the people, like it is an experience. Like, you know, I know
wakeboard
like,
camp
like Thomas Herman, like he does a lot of coaching, and he goes out and he'll stay on a houseboat in Powell for a week with the family, and he's charging good money, but he's staying on a houseboat and he's like enjoying the time, and it's a full blown experience and all that stuff. And so I think that, you know, you got to pay for that kind of stuff.
I think I could charge a little bit if like maybe you go do your lessons with the coach somewhere else, but then the nightlife and like that lifestyle, you pay me like another separate bit. And I'm like, this is how you fucking rage, bud.
As soon as we get off the water, Shane's going to take over.
You're going to put on this leather jacket. Shane's got a fitted leather jacket.
We got Shane doing stand up around the fire.
Yeah, he's got
margaritas for everyone.
He's got a leather jacket for you. And what you're going to do is you're going to start out and you're going to go to Wall Street downtown. Just
wow.
Oh God, that's too funny. I don't know. I think I might need to take a little break.
Take a little break. We back. Yeah, we had that was a fun first half right there. A solid hour of Gator talk, all the way down to deep wake surfing theory. Raised at ski schools, but that was good. But this half's going to be fun. We got a Patreon question from RJ Flake that we're going to ask here in a second.
I love that RJ.
We got to
Flake
spin to win for this live Gatorhead. It's actually not live, but obviously. This is as real as it fucking gets right here, but some lucky top shelf Patreon member is going to win that. We got a little rapid fire from Shane, and Paige wrote us some trivia questions. These are always interesting because we can all play. So I told her to write about Gators, Florida, and hunting.
Hunting, I feel like you're going to
yeah. So typically, I think.
So we're rapid fire with me?
No, rapid fire will be with y'all.
Yeah, we'll be with you too. Well,
yeah, okay. But maybe we'll start it off with the Patreon question from RJ Flake. Become a Patreon member and you can submit some questions to the guests. We don't really give you much of a heads up like other podcasts do, which we probably should. We get sometimes you get 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
we'll get back
on your toes. Stay on your toes. Turn on your notifications. But this one goes to Reed, and he wanted to know what was the hardest part about building Battle Falls. And Battle Falls is like your private wake skate kind of like elevation drop that you've built. Just so I can give a little preface to the people listening, that you built pretty much at your parents' place, the old ski school property lined with palm trees. It was beautiful.
Explain it out first too. The size of the pools, what it was, and then tell us what the hardest part was.
So it was a bi-level pool, system 2 set up, 2 ponds, 5 feet in elevation difference, stair set in the middle, and then I had a pump that would pump 3,000 gallons per minute of water from the bottom pool to the top over what I call the handicap ramp. It is a concrete ramp that's 6 feet wide, and then you could ride up the water. So that's hence made it the falls, right?
So it flowed from the top down to the bottom through the handicap ramp.
Yep, exactly. And then it made it to where on a wakeskate, on a wakeboard, you have the benefit of being able to jump off of a ramp. Where a wake skate, you can't jump off of a ramp. You have to use whatever slope that it is if it's the kicker. So on a wake skate, you need to have some water to be able to ollie off of. So that's why it was important for wake skating to have some kind of water on there so you can actually ollie off of it.
Yeah.
So that's, in essence, that's Battle Falls.
And that was with the first of its kind, using that water on purpose to actually have an upslope to ollie off the top of that kind of like.
Yep. Yeah.
How deep was that water coming off?
It was so like the trough on the top was 6 feet wide by 6 inches deep. That was kind of the craziest part of the whole thing, because as I was building it, so like I was like convinced my dad that I wanted to do this. It was for the WakeSkate tour. I always wanted one, but like finally gave me a reason. Silas said, "Hey, we're putting together a WakeSkate tour. We want to do this. Do you want to have a stop?" And I said, "Absolutely. I'll have it ready by next year."
Those were sick too.
Yeah, super sick. And so I started building it, and I had no idea what I was doing. So that was the first thing. Was I just went and bought a Bobcat and just started digging. I had zero Bobcat experience. And
really, you just took this on your own and just like went at this, unknowing.
Certainly, I could figure it out.
Shape concrete or like pour concrete or
exactly. I very minimal. Just hanging out with Ben Horan a little bit was the only concrete
first try and all that. Yeah. Ben Horan's probably helped you a lot through that process.
Through that, he was very helpful. Yeah, on a lot of that stuff. But because he had just done his. He built his own. So. I don't know where I was going with that, but I think the hardest part of it was kind of a crazy happening, was figuring out how much water, because it hadn't been done before. So figuring out how big of a pump that I had to get to make the waterfall usable.
Right, because it's too thin of water, then you're just skimboarding. You can't ollie off it, and then the whole idea is kind of like to shit. So you need to know how narrow that gap had to be, how much water, how much water's in the top pool.
Right. So the first one is like, how much water does it take to make a good ollie?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Were you able to test that?
No, not really. Like, is it 100 gallons a minute? Is it 1,000 gallons a minute? It's like totally throwing shots at it
from the hip. Yeah.
So like, first started me like Googling, YouTubing, like what does it look like to have 2,000 gallons per minute flowing, or whatever. But like, then you have to buy the pump, but now you got to engineer the concrete to where it's going to flow and
so crazy.
It's not going to overflow the stairs.
Push that mic in front of you a little bit.
So like you got this, 6 foot by 6 inch void that you've got to fill with water.
Right.
Right. So how do you figure out that calculation?
Did you figure it out or did you just guess?
So I decided that I wanted to build it 6 feet wide by 6 inches deep. I said that is enough water to ollie off of. I think that's enough water. That's probably manageable to get some pop off of. And I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, never like doing any calculations or anything. And I swear I woke up in the middle of the night and I said 3,000. That's it. I'm going with 3,000. And I just went to the pump. I went to the pump store, and I believe that it was God, because I was like, I had no, like that's the only explanation that I have. The YouTube videos weren't good, that I was watching. Right. So I went to the pump store and I said, I need a 3,000 gallon per minute pump. He like sized it, spec'd it for me, and we got it. And
see, I remember hearing that the pump was from an old water park. Like,
no, I bought it brand new.
Oh, you bought it brand new?
Yeah.
See, that's another myth.
It's pretty much a water.
Because I heard that you got one from like an old like lazy river, or that you brought in and like put in there to just do that, and it was like, I mean, I guess that's the size pump that you would need, but I thought it was from somewhere else.
So when we the first time I used it was the day before the first event. So I got it done and turned the pump on. We got it primed and it worked the day before the first event. And we sat there and watched it fill up, and it filled up right to level with the stairs. Didn't spill over at all. Perfectly level. And then it was spilling over the ramp. And that was max capacity. It was
what was it feeling like when you saw that go, and you were just like probably looked at Trev and everyone, you were just like,
I was like so emotional, like tears in my eyes. Like it worked. Like all these people are setting up their campers to camp for the weekend at Battle Falls, and I just rode it for the first time. I'm like, I can't believe it worked. I've been working on this thing for like a year. I can't believe that worked.
The buzzer beater right before everyone shows up.
It was pretty wild because I wasn't living there anymore, and so I would come and show up, and I was like not a part of building it whatsoever. But I would come and show up, and he's out there on the Bobcat, and I'm just like, dude, what are you building? Like, what's going on over here? And he would run me through the plans and show me what he was doing. And every step of the way, he'd like call me and tell me what the next problem was, like what the next issue was, like their power. Like he had no idea how much power he was going to need for that pump. It's like got the power company out there hooking up.
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
And every time that he turned around, he's got some other issue that he never accounted for, and everything worked out
to
perfect.
RJ's question,
That's crazy.
what was the biggest challenge of Battle Falls?
That was the biggest shot in the dark.
Guessing the size
was
pump.
the pump. I was back and forth on that forever. But
And so like, even like, say you're like, okay, 3,000, you're like, I'm going to go with the $3,000 pump, or not $3,000 pump, but like, what was the gauge on, okay, I could get a 1,000, I could get 3,000, or maybe like a 5,000, like, and that's like a big price difference, or where, like, when you stuck with 3,000, was it like, oh fuck, if this doesn't work, I've got to get this other one that's going to be another $15,000 more or something like that?
I wasn't even down that rabbit hole. I was like, this has got to work.
This has got to work.
Yeah.
You couldn't make the chute smaller, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, could have made the chute smaller. Yeah, I probably could have like adjusted some things if it didn't work. But yeah, I mean, it did work. So it's like,
damn,
the rest is history kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
it was honestly probably one of the best, like man-made obstacles ever in wakeboarding or wake skating. Like the concept of you building it in your backyard and doing it for that purpose, and what it provided your like wake skating was insane. It was
just the sport itself too.
Just the,
Like,
that's
yeah,
what the
I think
just
it
the
was so
sport.
big for wake skating.
Like,
Those contests were like really.
Those events were so epic.
It was amazing.
And this is coming from guys that had a picnic table stacked on top of a bunch of different stuff with a little rail right on top.
yeah,
Yeah,
No,
so it's come a long way.
it's come a long way.
So to cap that off, I actually was a guy was out wake skating with me at Battle Falls. He showed up. I forget his name, but he was talking about what he does, and he calculates stormwater drainage. And I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's kind of like this. It's like a weir. And he's like, oh yeah. And I was kind of hinting at the story that I just told you. And he was like, oh yeah, there's a calculation for it. And I was like, oh really? And he's like, oh yeah, we do that calculations all the time. He's like, let me pull out my cheat sheet. And he pulls it out, and the calculation was like 2,997.
What?
It was like
that's
No
pretty
way,
within
you
five.
pretty much, yeah, you.
It was
pretty much
it.
Whatever.
It was right there. He's like, oh yeah,
we
we have to calculate it. I'm like, oh, you don't just wake up in the middle of the night and just guess, you know?
So you kind of gave him your stuff, and then
Yeah.
you put it in there. And
He said, oh, how big's the void? And I was like, oh, 6 inches by 6 feet. And he's like, okay, punch it in real quick. And then he's like, oh yeah, you were pretty much right on.
pretty much spot on.
Damn, that's really cool. That's really cool.
That is sick, man. Battle Falls, baby.
Battle Falls. I mean, as we're talking about this, we'll have video showing of what it was and all of that. So it's nothing short of a great idea executed fucking perfect. Like you did it.
Thanks.
And for it to be at your property where you could practice and work and do that, you changed wake skating for forever on just being able to do that. Like,
Thanks, Shane.
I mean,
What's-
you were already great at wake skating, but you stapled that moment of I own this shit. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
There's been some good other.
No, I'm not saying that the other boys have it.
I love that. Like that's what
The
wake
past
skate, like
tours,
Nick Taylor
everybody's-
built his spot
yeah.
up there. You know, it seems like if you wake skate and you love it, you eventually build your own kind of like paradise.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, once you Ben built his first, and once we all went up there,
Right.
we're like, oh, we got to do this. Like, this is the best. And he just had a winch. And once System 2's got involved, it was like, oh, this is the
Shout out
opportunities are
Yeah,
endless.
best kickflip in the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And now you actually bought Kevin Henshaw's old property, Area 52, that he had for years. Kevin Henshaw built a huge wakeboard step down. They filmed a bunch of stuff and shot out there through the years, and pretty
Lot of
magical
liquid
spot.
stuff,
Yeah, a lot of
lot-
liquid stuff, and now you bought the property from.
Yeah.
So what's up with that? What's it
So-
look like?
Yeah, so I tore down his pool gap.
Oh.
Oh man, it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
All right, that was good. Trevor, what are you up to? Just,
So I like, as much as I wanted to keep it, it's 9 feet in elevation drop, like almost impossible on a wake skate.
yeah,
It was
that's a
almost
little
too big
tough.
for wakeboarding.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I can't do anything with this. So that was actually the perfect spot for a house on that property. So I'm going to build a house there. I'm
Sick.
in the process of building a house
It's
right
a
now.
beautiful little property.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. And it's not little. I say beautiful little property because
So you in any Battle Falls Part 2?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh shit! You heard it here first. Maybe not. Maybe you talked about it on Grab Matters.
No, this is breaking stuff.
Exclusive.
Yeah. I'm gonna build something out there for sure. I've got us, Henshaw's cable came with it, the property, so it's stacked up right now in the corner. I'm just waiting until the house is done and I'm gonna put it back up. Basically, where the System 2 is exactly where like my bedroom is. So that's
The one on the far side.
Yeah, it had to come down to build the house.
You can't jib the top of the house.
No, not quite.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
And Trev, you might need to build your house up a little bit higher after the last hurricane came through.
I had a full setup in the backyard.
It was great. Yeah, you could have put a whole cable or at least borrowed it from Reed in your backyard for a little bit.
Our swimming pool was like 8 inches underwater for 2 months.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Yeah, the last hurricane, the lake came up so high, and Trev sits deep in the pocket. Beautiful piece of property. But when that lake gets topped off, she's under your flat screen pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. That was the first time that we've ever seen it like that, obviously, and I think that's the highest that the lake's ever been since they've been keeping records. So.
It was like that for a while too.
Well, yeah, it was funny because we were running around, we were trying to like protect our house, and so like a week after the storm, the water just kept coming up because I have photos and it didn't look that bad right after the storm. And then, a week or two later, it just kept coming up and up and up. And I was driving around getting everyone's used sandbags that they didn't want anymore and piling them in the truck and bringing them to the house. And they're like, "What are you doing with these?" And I go, "My house is flooding." So,
yeah.
Well, you wouldn't think about it, but that's when I realized like what we live on is just not some isolated lakes. We truly live on a river. And when this hurricane hit, like, because obviously it flooded a lot. We got a lot of runoff water and got high. But like Trevor was saying, the next 2 weeks, the lake went 3 inches, 3 inches, like 3 inches every fucking day for about like 14. Like, and it really just kept on getting. And like nothing, it was like pure sunny out, and it was just runoff water coming from the north and south. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It took forever. I set up a little marking device in the yard, and I would go out there every day in my waders and
how much would you think was it coming up?
It was coming up a lot at the start, and then it kind of leveled off, and then it was coming up like 1/8 of an inch at a time. So it'd be like in 24 hours, it'd be 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, and then you would like. I mean, literally for, I think it was like a month and a half, it was still coming up. And like every day we're just like, it's got to level off eventually give, right? And then start going down. Because you knew once it crested, it would start going down. And every day you just walk out there and you're like, it's up again. It just keeps coming up. And then I think it was right around the 2-month mark that it started leveling off and coming down, and it went down faster than it came up.
They had some gators living in your swimming pool.
I did. I caught a little gator right.
Oh, really?
Right in the swimming pool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was hilarious. He was out there. It was a small one. It was like maybe 16, 18 inches long, and went out there and grabbed him out of the pool. My wife wasn't too impressed.
Yeah, but you got to do what you got to do. Do it.
There's a panic that most people or most homeowners don't understand, and it's the hurricane. But the water level, when you're watching it come up, you're like, oh, I see it. And it's moving. And you're like, I know it's not stopping for a little bit. Like even on Clear Lake happens fast. It's not like here in Claremont where everything's running down.
You're not.
But like it was coming up, and Paige is like, I don't know. Like this is. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to come up that much more, but it's coming fast. But there's a, an anxiety that, a non-homeowner in Florida that doesn't live on a lake doesn't get. Like you can't explain it.
It's part of the Florida story.
And dude. Because
you can't get all this beautiful stuff without
there's like you have so much room to give. You have so much room to give, but as soon as it breaks that certain barrier, it's now in the house and everything's fucked. So
I remember seeing some boats go by. I'd be out there over at Nikki's, and I'd be looking, and I see some boats like kind of like wake surfing kind of your way when the lake was high. I was like, "Ooh, Trevor gonna be mad."
I had a pretty sweet little wall built, so I wasn't really that worried about it. But it was it was wild. And doing a bunch of research like on our lakes during that whole deal. Like there's only 18 inches of elevation level from the north to the south end of the chain, which is pretty wild to think of. Wild. Yeah, it's not that much elevation change. So it's super flat. There's really not that much drop. So it takes forever for that water to go away.
Yeah, and that storm really showed the chink in the armor, which is the locks. We've got those locks, and I think it's CFM, cubic feet per minute. So they measure how much water can go through those dams. and through that lock, and that lock can do 350. And what was coming in was like 900.
It was 1,200 something
1,200
at the highest
So
because
there's
there's
topped off and
there's
like flooded.
So it couldn't get out quick enough. So like the way that the water authority explained it was that it was like a rat going through a snake's belly. It had to pass. So and then it'll just keep happening down the line. So it'll just keep going down the river system. So each lake, so like Lake Louisa, it happened first. And then it drained into Minnehaha, and then it drained into Mineola, and then it drained into Cherry, and it keeps, and it like the same thing kind of happened to all of them.
But each step of the way, it got a little bit less bad. Like Louisa got it the worst, and then every step of the way, like as like the proverbial rat is like getting digested, it was getting less and less. But it was like Louisa, it was bad. I went to a bunch of people's houses trying to help them, and there was like inches from coming into people's houses, and some people lost their houses.
They're pretty low down there.
Straight moving out. Yeah.
The top part of the chain. As it go elevation up, we're talking about we live on in Claremont. There's an 11 lake chain here that kind of like flows through. So we're talking about like the elevation from the bottom. Yeah.
So Louisa is the highest, and it drains north to the St. And it ultimately ends up to the St. John's.
Yeah. If you look at it on like Google Maps, you can if you had an airboat and like crossed over a couple little roads and stuff, you can pretty much make it all the way to the St. John's, which gets you all the way to pretty much the ocean,
to the coast,
So it's like,
well, it used to be open.
Yeah. Oh, back in the day.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy if you can make it on like to get to St. John's River through Lake Harris, and
be so sick.
It would be sick.
Crazy.
We just need a little bit
Seminoles would do
Sounds
a
like
little bit more global warming, and we can get there.
Or some explosives.
Rev those engines.
Yeah, just got to get rid of a couple locks, and we can do it.
Yeah, maybe just take out the locks. Is that we're not theorizing here. Well, I guess it isn't.
I guess that's a theory.
Let's put it on the ballot.
Yeah.
Let's get on record with this. So let's do it. Should we do a little spin to win right now and give away this sick ass Gator head to some top shelf?
Also, we got that.
This is going to be perfect too. Trev? What else we got?
Reed shows up with a Gator head, but we got some Super and Moomba threw in some sweatshirts, so we'll get a Super and Moomba sweatshirt to the winner to go along with their Gator head.
Sick, hell yeah! Thank you, Super, for supplying the sweatshirts, and Reed for this. I knew that's why I said the younger brother's name first. This shows out a Gator head. Shows out a Gator head, dude. No, but this actually be perfect because when we ship this thing out to you, we're shipping it straight from here. We're going to wrap these sweatshirts around this thing, pad this thing up, so it's going to have a little good old fashioned Gator dust.
But
on
let's
these,
not mess
t-shirts.
up those sweatshirts because
it's this thing's
I'm just
pristine.
joking. Yeah, no,
we'll pre-thrash the sweatshirt so it looks like a gator chewed them up.
See,
I like it.
Now we're talking, baby.
Yeah.
I love the idea that maybe it's like a young kid that, almost like, okay, so last episode we did Lake Davenport one, and I didn't know. I was like, Lake Davenport seems like a place, not a person. I was wrong. He hit me up on Instagram and was like,
Lake's awesome.
Yeah, he's I know, shout out Lake. And
Lake,
hey,
dude.
hit me up about your boots. I need to get you sized up and get you some Liquid Force boots.
Yeah.
But
Thank you,
what I'm saying is, imagine if you're like, your kid signed up for a Patreon member, and then out of nowhere, a Gator head shows up at your house. You're like, oh man, it's just like it's a wild prize, but I think it's in the top three. It's in the top three. I mean, Uncle Paul taking somebody out on his boat to cook them dinner. I mean, it's
Obviously, hard to beat.
But it's hard to beat. But
you might get a Gator head out there.
You might get a Gator head out there. Kill two birds with one stone.
I am going to say this. If it's out of this country, like I think we have a couple Canadians, this is going to be a hefty import.
Yeah.
And so maybe free shipping to lower 48.
There may actually be some laws against shipping that across the border. So I don't know that we want to ship it across the border.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look into
be a thing,
it.
dude.
But
at least in Montreal.
I do have the wheel up. We are recording. We are ready to roll.
Ready,
so
Shane?
let me get that noise.
Hang on. Let Reed tap that thing.
Oh, you want to tap that thing, Reed? Tap, spin, and it is spinning. All right. Where's our noise? There it is. There it is. There it is.
And the winner is, call it out, Reed.
Robbie Allen.
Robbie
Allen.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Robbie Allen takes down the Gator head. And
Robbie Allen, thank you for being a Patreon member. We got a winner right here.
Heck yeah, Robbie. Congratulations.
Congrats, Robbie.
That makes it legit right there. Damn, that's pretty sweet.
That is.
You never know what you're going to get on the spin wins.
You really don't. A lot of random stuff, you know.
Thank you, Supra. Thanks, Reed, for bringing that by, dude. And thank you, Gator, for living your life.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Sacrificing your life.
Robbie will
For
be
the
very
Bonifay
pumped.
Banter, episode 20 podcast.
A little bit morbid, but thank you for your
Super shallow. I
service.
love it.
Oh, too good.
Well, cheers, boys. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Cheers.
Always wear your life jacket.
Hey, I wanted to bring this up because Parks mentioned it earlier, and I forgot, but I wanted to bring it up. But Trev, first person to do a double flip off of the wake, correct?
Yep.
I
Bang!
knew it. I did.
I
was
did.
sitting
I
here
know.
today.
Parks said it, and I was like, I think that is right, but that's such a cool feat.
That
like
is a
that
good
is
feat.
a big.
I
That's
was
a
pretty
big
excited.
one. Yeah.
I was pretty excited.
Was it double back roll?
Double back roll. Yep.
Double
Lake
back roll.
Hiawassee.
Lake Hiawassee behind Watson's boat.
Oh, Watson had a
Damn,
wake
dude.
back then.
Yep.
Dude, Watson was where you went to get it, hit
Yep.
a good wake for a little
That
bit.
part of
there.
the lake wasn't super deep, though. You know, you still pulled it off. That's
Yeah.
a good feat, Trev.
No, it was fun.
Were you
And to
trying?
give to the listeners a little reference, double flips were done off double ups and only double ups. That's where the boat circles around and goes back into its roller, and the waves double up. It gives you more air, more hang time to do like these maneuvers. And when the wakes were small, that's how we had to do these. The wakes got bigger, but at this point, still no one's ever done it just behind the wake, just the way you're going straight, hitting the wake. Trev, first one to take it down.
How
Double
long
flip.
were you working on this? Were you trying it for a while?
I tried it over a long span. I probably didn't try that many of them though. I think I probably tried it maybe 20 times or something like that. But it took like maybe 2 or 3 years to get enough under my belt.
But did you know, like you felt like you had such a solid back roll? You're like, I can get this around. It might be a bigger wake. It might take a little while, but like
Because I could always do them off the double up, and they even on a small double up I could do them, and so I just kind of figured that eventually, if the wake was good enough or whatever, I could probably get it done.
You think it was the wake's getting to a point to where you size up the wake? You're like, okay, now's the time I can.
Yeah, I think so. And like,
You tried it off smaller wakes and didn't do it.
yeah, the first time I tried it was behind. Oh man, I'm trying to remember what year it was, but it was probably like in like that 2006, 2007 time frame.
Yeah.
And I had a Supra 24 SSV. And back then, we were riding pretty long ropes. I mean, I was at 87 and a half feet at 24 and a half miles an
I
hour.
loved
dude.
that moment of us just thinking, ride longer, ride
beast.
faster, it's better. And I mean, the new
It
kids
worked.
are showing us
Yeah,
it's
it
not.
worked. It worked back then, but I don't know that it was better.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think it was
Not
just
for most.
No, and the wake was pretty small. And I was thinking back to when I tried it, like the lake that I was living on at the time was very shallow. It was only like 10 feet deep. And I would just barely come up short a lot, like, kind of landing on your back.
Yeah.
And I hurt my ankle really bad on it once. And so I didn't try it for a while. But then I think it was the 230 that he had. And that wake was just so steep. And it was like perfect for like just like a little short edge, like load the rope, whippy style double back roll.
Nice. How long was your rope? What do you think when you did that?
It was probably pretty close to the same. Like,
You probably need, because you go too short. The wake gets smaller. The water gets softer. You can ride slower. The wake gets narrower. Wake maybe even gets a little bigger, but like your overall trajectory gets a little smaller. I bet like sometimes you probably need like.
yeah, I don't think that the rope was a whole lot shorter, and the speed was probably still about the same, but it was just that the wake had gotten a little bit bigger, and it was really steep, and so it just worked out perfect.
At that point, it was like 82 and a half was starting to, like, if you were saying you were at 87 and that, like,
Yeah,
that's Randall. That was teetering on the Randall stout. But like, I remember for a long time, like riding less than 80, it was kind of like, oh, get your shit together.
yeah, you weren't allowed to
fucking
ride less than 80, pretty much.
Yeah, you really weren't.
Because
Why
that was
were all the halves such a thing? Like even nowadays,
It's because
like,
you
is
know where
like
it comes from.
72 and a half?
No, it's because we only had 5 foot extensions, so it was
Well, I
like
know,
you
but,
either
like,
ride the
I'm saying,
5
but
or
why-
you fold it in half. And do
No,
the
I know
5.
why they did or how that like worked out, but like why does that? It always seemed like that was the magic. That half. It wasn't like 80 was fucking perfect or 70 was perfect. 75. Always seems like it was like that in betweens.
Yeah, 77.
it's kind of wild how the rope thing works, because I think that it is like very suited to the person and how they ride and how they cut in and what speed you want to go, and like there is a perfect spot on that wake for each individual rider
And
based
what boat
on
you ride probably too.
Exactly, it has a lot to do with it. Because I would pull in I would pull in 2.5 feet. The Supra, for some, I think that their tower was like a little bit further forward.
The tower size.
And so, if the tower was a little further back, then you would shorten it up just because you'd end up being in about the same spot anyway.
You should talk to is when we had Danny Hampson on. He's a big connoisseur of just rope tension, not necessarily rope lengths, but he was very fond of just figuring out rope tensions.
Respectfully so, because it's an invisible thing. You don't see it. You don't like it. You go, oh, this dude throws a hard bucket, or this dude can do this flip. Rope tension is an invisible trait that you have to like fucking learn. And not a lot of sports get it because we're the only ones with like that kind of
it's true.
That kind of rope. So, I'm not saying it's any different, but that pendulum only swings towards wakeboarding, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I always get mind blown with like obviously in other sports, like I think of golf a lot, and like those guys know the ball spin, like they know ball spin or like how much torque or like different things that the ball does. But like we know, like if there was a 3 feet of stretch rope on your rope, it would feel so weird. Whereas 98% of the people that wakeboard would never feel that difference. They wouldn't sense that. But like, I don't know. It's the idea of like, we have this knowledge, but I don't even know what you do with it. Like even just like a shape of a fin or like a certain edge, or if the tail is like a little bit more flexy, but like that, it makes sense whenever it's something I appreciate, like golf, where I'm like, man, imagine being able to know how much your ball spin. Whereas like there's other riders and fans out there like, man, those guys are so worried about that half foot of rope or that like a handle grip that's like this or, something. And I'm like, I don't even, I know it, but I don't like.
We're talking about wakeboarding. We're not even talking about slalom skiing.
Like, slalom skiing, they get into it.
Get down to the gritty.
Did you used to pre-stretch your ropes?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, making sure.
I used to hook mine up to a truck and tie it to something
and pull it out,
just stretch it until it couldn't. Right before you felt like it was going to break.
Well, that was a perfect blend too. You got a stretch rope. It was like almost like slightly non-stretch. I think like Hardline did like a really good one. Yeah. And you would like hook it up to a tree and then stretch it, and it would just get this like super kind of like.
You needed all those fibers to get tight, like because it was factory, so it was like loose. But then whenever you could like stretch it,
so you did get a little stretch, but not like it wasn't like non-stretch.
Yeah,
but you got that because there is a perfect blend of like just a little bit.
Yeah, because the rope would stretch a little bit, but you didn't want to feel like you were like bouncing back there.
Yeah.
Here's a hot take that I've always said.
Let's hear it.
You ready? Wakeboarders are better at getting knots out than almost any other sport on the planet.
Fact.
Agreed.
That is an unspoken trait that we just accidentally got inherited to. And I feel like if it came down to it and there's a lot of money on the line and there's a huge nest of knot right there, I feel like a wakeboarder compared to any other board sport has a better chance of getting that knot out than anyone.
I want to be on Survivor. I want to be on Survivor, and always in missions in Survivor, they're like, you got to get this bag and you got to untie it from the tree, and there's a whole bunch of knots. And every time I see the knots, I'm like, oh, I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah.
And
I've thought
there's
the same thing.
And there's a lot of things like Paige, my wife, we watch Survivor religiously, and she's like, you can't go on Survivor. You're going to say some stupid shit. People are going to hate you forever. And she's probably right, because we're also dealing with me not drinking, me not smoking, me not doing anything. I'm just on an island with strangers.
You sneak a bunch of
I'm
in there.
gonna freak the fuck out and say some shit. But needless to say, there's a lot of things within Survivor challenges I'm good at. I can swim. I can untie knots. They do one where you're
getting
like
kicked out of that island right a fucking way.
I am because
really, dude. There's like beast dudes, like.
But I also think
walking around a reef.
But I also
you get a knot out. You're gonna think people are gonna keep you.
No. They're not keeping me because I can get knots out. But I will win a challenge, and I'm good at puzzles. Puzzles are a big thing on Survivor, and I'm good at puzzles. But they do it differently, where I need to lay the puzzles out so I can see the whole thing. Not the point.
Hey, my point. Shades a people person too. You got to be a people person.
But also, I think so. On every episode, Jeff Probst is like, "Hey, if you want to be on here, make a video, sign up. And I'm like, dude, I could make the best video. Like I could make the best video.
Everyone hears your excitement in your voice right now. For the fact that you've never done this, you're like you're scared of this. You're talking a lot of shit right now.
It's scared because I know.
I think this is a bit.
I know somebody's going to say something and I'm going to pop off and I'm going to be like, what the fuck do you know about this shit? And then it's going to be like, oh, we got a problem with contestant Bonifay. I think he's threatening somebody. And I'm like, oh
Shane,
shit,
you
I
have been
did.
kicked off that.
Yeah. And it's like, it's on day 6. Day 6 or 7 was where it gets tough because that's, 6 days without having a beer, 6 days without having some Zins or having a vape. Yeah. If I can get to day 10, I'm good.
So addiction's keeping you off of.
It's the problem. It's not the addiction. It's what I'm going to do when the addiction hits. Yeah.
What out of all the sports? What do you think? Like where wakeboarders are good at getting knots out. What's surfing? What's all the other sports that they accidentally got good at just for being a snowboarder, or like surfers? I imagine can hold their breath really good.
Yeah.
Or
have insane cardio.
I
would say, I think snowboarders would be like obviously just great at driving in snow. And that's not something that anybody knows. Like, I don't know how to drive in snow.
That's a good point.
Waxing your snowboard. I have no idea how to do that. And I see somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. I think you throw it on there and fucking let it rip. That's probably not true. There's an art form. I watch people wax snowboards. It's an art form.
Yeah, I think,
or at least not an art form, but it's a technique.
They might not
as an art form as waxing your surfboard.
They're good at ironing their clothes because that's
you use the iron.
Use an iron to wax your snowboard, so they're good at ironing their clothes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What skaters are probably
skaters are good at getting blood out of their jeans.
I bet they have a good hack at that.
I don't think they even give a shit about the blood in their jeans.
But maybe they're nice jeans.
Hey, skaters are really good at talking to cops.
And
talking themselves,
that's
themselves
getting out of
situations.
And just confrontations in general.
Good call.
Yeah, I believe that. And skaters have very hard, rough hands, like very calloused hands, because they're constantly hitting the ground and carrying skateboards, like their thumbs, and they're like, I think
they can't give a fingerprint. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not a fingerprint thing. I just think that they have very coarse hands.
I get that way when I'm riding cable, because I got to carry your
you got to carry this
back around the cable, and my right hand is like raw by the end of the day.
Yeah.
You don't carry it in the left ever?
Nah. That's the weak arm, and it's going to stay that way.
You know what I love about wake skating is that wake skating's like, you want to think wakeboarding is this core sport and we all do this, and the boys are. The boys are pretty core. But like the chorus of the core are these wake skaters that do this sport. And it's always sort of been like this, where the sport hasn't ever got the acknowledgement that wakeboarding did. And it takes so much more to do it. You're falling so much more. You're doing so much more. But it's this, you can almost identify a wake skater. If you set up 3 wakeboarders and a wake skater, and I talked to all of them for 2 minutes, I could point out the wake skater and be like, that dude fucking wake skates for sure. Like it's a personality trait that, most people just probably lean towards the wakeboarding. They're like, this is good, but like, I'm not going to fall that much and walk back to the dock or get picked up by this jet ski or work on a kickflip for this long. But wake skaters have this fucking
grit kind of
grit. It's a thing.
Definitely is like a certain personality type that's just
That's
okay with
just
falling for 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
Trying something.
Yeah.
I love it. Everybody that got good at wake skating had to do that.
Yeah.
There's no option. There's no other way.
And you have to know you're getting into it before you get good. Like, you can't just happen to get on a wake skate. Maybe Daniel Grant did. I bet Daniel Grant actually jumped on a wake skate and was pretty good at kick flipping and understanding it. But besides him,
3 when he was on a wake skate.
Yeah, but besides him, nobody. You have to realize how hard it is to even get up and ride around and do a shove it and be like, the shove it was hard enough. let me start trying to do 3 flips. Like that's like crazy. You know what I mean? Like you've got to really enjoy getting. I don't want to say shit on
for like small kind of like
it's small
achievements
benefits
compared to like, oh, you didn't learn the flip, or it's like
to something that like there is no like oh, you stuck a Rayleigh and everybody's stoked on you for
it's exactly
like a 3
that.
flip. Most people are like, I don't know, how hard is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
No idea how hard that is.
A kickflip will get it though. If you were at a demo and I did a Rayleigh, people would be stoked. You went out and did a kickflip, people would be like, damn, that was fucking cool.
A lot of times you don't even have to, because just watching someone jump the wakes, wake to wake on a wake skate, like most people can't even wrap their mind around. They can't jump the wakes anyway with bindings on. And so doing it without boots on, they're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see why you just didn't put Velcro on the bottom of the shoe.
You know what's funny is a long time ago, Parks knows this. When I was sponsored by Oakley Shoes, and this is like a short-lived 2 or 3 year little period, but I was probably 14, 15, maybe 16, but we did bolt the Oakley shoes to a wakeboard, and I did a photo shoot where I was like doing flips and did a Rayleigh.
Sick.
But it looked like a wake skate. And I was
Damn,
like,
Shane faked it.
I faked it. I faked it big time. But it was before things were wake skating was a thing. But like it was a very, they didn't pick up on it. They were like, we're not running this. This isn't an ad campaign. But thank you for bolting your shoes to the
Sick
wakeboard,
tantrum, bro.
Yeah, sick tantrum. But it was something that I remember. I'm pretty sure it was Betty B's idea. She was like, what if you did a a Rayleigh with the shoes on? And I was like, how would that even work? It was a bad idea, but
sometimes the parents had the worst ideas for some of the photo shoots.
So many bad.
They sure did. Hey,
Did they make you guys do Rayleigh photo shoots where you did a Rayleigh over him?
100%. So
Yeah, let's not leave this unspoken.
yeah, Rayleighs, but like my first Hyperlight poster was a Rayleigh, and my dad was like taking the pictures, and he's like, "You got to smile while you're doing the Rayleigh." Like,
You gotta
I wish
smile.
I have to send you guys a picture of the poster, because I'm literally like,
love it.
like
I think I know it.
More.
That's sick.
Can you do this?
Totally.
No, me and Parks.
Trey, what was the old shot where you on the rainbow rail standing sideways? What it looked like?
I'm
the
really
rope was
glad
like
you brought
stacked.
this up.
It was definitely good.
Was it
Since
true?
we were on
100%. Well, and so I actually told Reed earlier, I go, I wonder if there's going to be an opportunity to talk about this, because because I for years you guys did a subscribe page for Alliance where I think you were standing on the rail, and the whole Pointless crew was like behind you.
we
And
overfaked
you were,
it.
and you were doing like the
a bucket of water.
1 footer, and I was like, "Oh, that's a sick shot." And then someone goes, "They're making fun of you," and I was like, "Are they making fun of me? That sucks." I was like, "I don't think they are." I convinced myself that you guys definitely weren't making fun of me.
We weren't making fun of you. Maybe just the idea of that shot that you happen to be struggling.
The only person that ever did it.
Well, I think there was another.
Okay,
There was
hold on.
another.
We got to
winching
preference this. Nobody knows what we're talking about
This is
right
very-
now.
this
Yeah,
is
hold
insider-
on. Who wants to
insider
do
info.
it? I'll give Trevor.
I'll do it. I was right in the thick of it. So
You were the thick of
I was
it.
the thick of it. So there was a boat company called Sessions for a couple of years. So Regal started making wakeboard boats, and my dad was a big part of making those boats. And I got sponsored by them, and we got in a weird situation where they had a deadline for an ad. They like committed to a wakeboard mag ad, had the deadline of that day. We did not have a single boat or jet ski that was operational at the camp. And my dad goes, "You just need to go stand on that
need a
rail."
shot.
Yeah, he's like, "We have to send a shot." And this was like, there's no photos of anything. And he's like, "Just go stand on the rail." And I go, "I can't do that." And he's like, "Just stand there." He's like,
Parents have the
I'll get
worst
the shot."
idea.
He's like, "Just give it a little board slide." So I'm out there literally just standing on the rail, takes the photo, sends it in.
Because it was a double pipe white, so you could balance on it. You could just balance.
I was just out there standing on it.
Dude, the backstory. I love that we got the backstory
Yeah,
of that.
got
legendary
that
dude.
shot. And then it was like maybe like 2 mags later, PJ Marks wrote into Wakeboard Mag, because they used to have like the the reader section where you could write in, and he wrote in and was like called out the me standing on there, so it turned into a thing.
Oh, why? Because they had the beef of the old wakeboard camps back in the day. He was like, "Oh, we gotta call out this," but like, meanwhile, 3 years later, I'm getting a plane flying out here.
Totally, yeah. PJ and my dad had some
call
serious
you
beef
out.
back in the day.
But I do love
the tightrope would have been sweet. It was what was it that gave it away in the shot? Was it?
I think it was
slack
the board
rope?
shorts just dripping straight down. There was no
There was
flap.
there was no water.
There was no water.
I was dry. My laces, like that was like 30-60 boots. Like the
Yeah,
laces
the
were
laces.
hanging straight down. There was no wind involved whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
think-
love
think
that.
in-
We needed AI back in the day.
So another giveaway was Trevor's lackluster attitude.
It was a very unenthusiastic
You
backflip.
could tell that he was forced into that situation. And he was not trying to hide it. He
It's
was
almost
like-
like you should have did a like just a board slide because of your face. What you could have been away from the camera, you wouldn't have had to sell it. But you're right. Like you're like
He's just
not
like-
looks like
Yeah, it was
He's
pretty
like, I
straight.
cannot
pretty
believe
straight legged.
that my dad's making me do this.
Enthusiastic.
shout out Andy.
Yeah. I love that you like the idea that you saw the photo of Parks, because I don't know if we're blatantly making fun of you or that scenario, but there was the photo that you said that,
Yeah,
of us making like throwing the bucket of water, and we're like,
Hey,
and it's like it's all
I thought
staged.
someone's like they're making fun of you.
it was hilarious. I think it was like Derek Grassman or something, because me and him were super tight back then, and like it came out and we're like flipping through the mag, and like it didn't register with me at all. Like when he first, like I was just like, oh, that's a cool shot, and he goes, aren't they making fun of you? And I was like, I don't know.
I don't
I
think
love
so.
that you thought it was a cool shot though.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
I was like, oh, that's,
Yeah, like no,
I was like, man, Parks is so funny.
No, they're not making fun of me. And they're like, I think they are. And you're like, no, they're not. They're
Can't-
like, no,
can't
they
be.
definitely are. No. Okay.
I hope
so
they aren't.
I remember at one point I wanted to do a contest that was, because there was a few other things after you did that you could tell that it was staged. Like I remember I saw somebody
There's one
did
other
a full
winching
photo.
one.
I saw somebody did a photo shoot in a studio of somebody like in like straps, and they were like upside down, like
That
it
was
was full
bad.
studio, and like somebody splashing water on 'em. And I'm like, they're trying to execute this, but I wanted to do a contest within wakeboarders that was like, do a real hit, like actually be wakeboarding, but try to make it look as fake as possible. Like get on a rail and like yank in on it and give it slack, and like maybe gel your hair straight down. Like do everything you can, and the person that makes
I've never heard this contest.
A real photo fake.
a real photo fake. And I was like, that would be fun. Like who could make the most real photo look like it was staged?
Shane Bonifays, real fake.
Real fake.
I like it.
Real wake fake.
Real wake fake.
No, I thought it would always be pretty funny, because you'd be like, you could do things where you're like, you know, you're like, I can't think of it right now, but good stuff.
There was some pretty good photos back in the day, though.
I think I remember Charity Merriman or somebody did a really fake photo similar. I wouldn't put it past me. I can't think of it right now, but I
Yeah.
remember there was other fake photos that were. But I'm glad that you got the crown of it.
Thank you.
No, it's just-
And glad we cleared the air on that.
Me too.
Yeah, me
You know?
too. Me too.
Like,
I'm really
there's a
glad
lot of
that
tension
we
over
got
that for years.
I've been waking up in the middle of the night thinking about that.
Cold sweats. Go.
Yeah. As soon as we heard you boys were coming on, I was like, Parks, we're asking them about the fake photo, right? Just
It was almost unspoken, but
Yeah, for sure.
we'll talk about Gator Killing. We'll talk about Reed's Battle Falls, but
how do we find that photo? Is that do we get who do we sick on that one?
I guarantee
I
you.
might have it somewhere. I got a
Try to find
frame.
that
I
shit.
got
I would
it
love
framed
to
in my
put it.
bedroom.
I thought you were going around burning all those copies. Stricken from the record.
That would be sick if you just went around the country hunting down fucking
Hey, so-
magazine 5 of 19 or 99.
So what's really funny about that is that like maybe a couple magazines later, me and Derek were really good friends back then. He called me and he goes, "Have you seen the new mag?" And I was just like, "Oh no,
now?
what's in the mag now?" And it was a picture of me doing like a nuclear tantrum, and like the way that my shorts were on my legs, like all you could see was my balls. through my shorts. And
yeah,
Ain't no faking them balls, dude.
Totally. But he had me totally panicked because I'm just like,
Shout out Andy.
Oh no, man.
Hey, honestly, Grassman's one of my favorite pairs. Hey, can we give a little shout out to Grassman real quick?
Yeah.
Grassman. BG.
Love me some Grassman.
He's the best.
So I got a hot take for you guys.
Love it. Let's hear it.
Since we got wakeboarders, wake skaters, and then this is a mix between the two, in my opinion, which I think is not cool, which is 1-footers on a wakeboard. What do you guys think?
Whoa, you don't think those are cool?
I don't think they're cool.
Wow, that's a hot take, bud.
Yeah, I
It
don't
is a
like
hot
them.
take, but that's what he set it up as.
I don't like them at all. I think it's
Are they done
Is
that?
it
Are they
in-
done that often to
They're
where
not.
they like do they irk you that bad? I don't think
No.
they're done, and only a few people.
Back in
kind
the
of
day,
only
it was like
Smalty started off doing them. Shout out Smaltz.
there was a small window where it was happening a pretty good bit, and that was when I was starting to, and a couple of them got into trick of the year categories.
I can okay.
Do you remember that?
I can understand. I can understand
And it
a
was
trick
like
of the year, maybe like
It was
they
like
don't-
it was like
hot take, dude.
it was like a back
Well,
roll.
I like a one foot. Sorry, you go.
a back roll with a 1-footer,
yeah.
and
I get you.
I was like, okay, just take the thing off.
I do like watching them. They are refreshing. I do like kind of seeing them. Do I want to see it in a wakeboard contest? No. Do I want to see it as trick of the year? No. But I think it's in snowboarding. I think it's always been a novelty kind of like trick. It's a party trick.
Super novelty.
It's a
Yeah,
party.
definitely
it's a
party
party
trick.
trick. So I think that is what it is in wakeboarding. And that's why I think that you shouldn't be so mad at it, because I don't think people are taking it super serious.
Well,
But if you're saying like it gets nominated for trick of the year, then now I see why you're mad, because
So, like-
I don't think it belongs in.
Well,
It's not like you can do a Pete Rose 1-footed, and now I'm fucking super impressed.
Well,
Like,
I think technically he's only half mad because it's only 1 foot that's disconnected. No, okay, no.
So-
No.
yeah, it's just
so not this year, but last year, Luca did it in the contest.
I don't mind
Do
it.
you remember
I
that?
like I like the 1-footer. I give it credit. I remember I've tried it in a contest, and I don't think that's infringing on a wake skate. And maybe that's not what you're saying.
I don't think he's saying it infringes on a wake skate. He
It's
just
just
doesn't like
saying,
to see
like-
it within wakeboarding.
I think there's a thing of there's a risk there, because if you fall wrong, it can mess your legs up. You can mess a leg up pretty bad if you fall with one leg in and one leg out. And it's maybe not as hard as it seems, but I think
How
that
do you
there's-
feel about having it in contests? Do you think this should be a thing on the 5th trick? Guys rip their foot out, and this is a thing now? Because I like to watch them. I love watching them, and I think there's a lot of respect, and they are dangerous. They're risky, and I love watching fucking that shit to blind. Like, there's been some crazy ones.
I don't.
But like I just
don't like it.
for guys in a contest using 1 of 5 tricks, you only get 8 tricks in a contest, so to speak.
I think
and
those-
using one of those as a 1-footer, I'm kind of with Reed on that. I like seeing them. I'm just not.
No.
doing a video
I mean,
part,
I
not
think
a
if you can
contest.
already bang off enough tricks, and then if you have the ability to unstrap and get your foot out and get back in there and do another trick, and it's
Oh, there we go. Let's get some click-ins.
No, I mean, honestly, I will say this. It probably, I don't want to say it was the first time anybody ever tried a 1-footer in a contest, but it was when I got bronze in X Games. I rode, I think it was bronze, but for my double up, pulled my foot out because I rode with super loose bindings, pulled my foot out, and I tried to do a front 3, little kick out, fell on it, but it could have got me second, could have got a silver.
Hey, if you would have left your foot in, you probably would have gotten second.
I probably would have.
Love that.
No,
might have gotten
but
one of
I
those
mean, I
golds.
tried this. I tried it because I do like that. I do like. I mean, it's like a judo. It's not conventional. I'm not saying it's like in the. Let's not like act like everybody should do it.
Snowboarding, you're not going to see it in any critical
You
part of the
can
half.
unclick.
Like no,
Dude,
it's
I
a
think-
video part trick. I think. Like I just
Yeah.
don't think it's a.
Definitely, it's super novel, and my my reasoning and my combat to it is like, we're talking about this unclicking and doing it in the middle of a run. What if I, in the middle of my wake skate run, pull out a screwdriver and throw a couple screws and do a tantrum.
It's totally
I fucking love it.
different. It's
Shay would
totally
love it.
different.
Shay would
It's
love
like-
it. Shay would love it. You fucking fake wakeskate.
I mean, I've done it before, and I bolted both of those
Shay's like, I
bits.
can actually
you
teach
would-
you how to do that.
No,
But you would
I
be
don't
like,
think that's like the.
that's wakeboarding. That's wakeboarding's
No,
thing.
but we're not trying to do shove-its. We're not trying to do kick flips. You're undoing a boot because you can get a little flare, but you still have to do something. You can't just pull your foot out and do a little wah and then act like. But I think that there's something there with the risk. It has to do with the risk versus like. Okay, so you just saw. What do you want me to do? You want me to do another heel 9? You just saw a toe 9 and a crow 5 and everything else. Like, I'm trying to
I'm about
swap
saying
it
some
up.
refreshing
If you
shit.
go,
I love it.
like,
I'm not
if
saying
you do
that.
it good, if you do it good and you go boom, you bounce this and a little back 3 and you land all crazy and like I don't know. I disagree, and I think that there is a spot for it. Not a big spot, and you have to make it good, but you can't just. It's not like part of everybody's run. But I think there's a spot for it, a small spot. And this is a guy that's wears board pants, so you know.
Yeah, I got no dog in this fight. I've never even thought about taking one of my feet out of my bindings while I was wakeboarding.
Same. Always happened on accident.
Yep.
I hated it.
It's an individual sport. You guys wouldn't know. Both of y'all
The
are
kids
very
nowadays don't know
conservative.
about that. When you cut in and you get hung up on the wake and you do a railie and now you've got 1 foot in the boot or and you're one
I think
foot
traumatized.
flies
I
in the air.
think that happened on your knee injury. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. I mean,
One of them, right?
yeah. Which one was
No,
it?
The
I don't
O-dub.
think so. I don't think
I
so.
don't think-
O-dub
the-
didn't happen.
The one I'm thinking of, there's this one shot in, I think, Pointless and the Incomplete. I just like, because we had, like you were saying, Trevor, they were rubber boots back in the day. So they were like, your feet, we used to have like soap or shaving cream to slide in with the water and stuff. Nowadays, it's like cloth. So you want to almost like, it's almost easier to get in dry than it is wet. But back in the days, like your foot could just like pop out. And like if the wrong foot happened at the wrong time, dude, you're just going through the air, soaring 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Happened on when I did that. I had a click-ins on my photo shoot where I did for my documentary where I got lifted up by the helicopter. I had like these Ronex, like old, like like prototype, like click boots. And like I did a railie one time and just dangling underneath this chopper. It was like 120 foot, just like 5 feet off the water. I'm just 1 foot in, 1 foot out going, fuck.
It's not good.
That was sick, by the way.
Yeah, it seems like you never see the falls 1 foot in, 1 foot out in the air anymore.
You
Kind of
see
way
it,
like the
yeah.
boots have gotten
Yeah.
so good to where
Yeah, back in the day, you would see them a bit. You would see like a weird, like the fall section, and you'd see somebody go for a front, and their like back foot would come out, and they'd just be like,
they were fun to watch.
Dude, those crash sections back in the day were the best.
yeah,
What was it? The one it was a Liquid Force video. Was it Truth?
truth, yeah,
That
that was
had
the
it-
truth. Yeah.
That was the Johnny Cash song. Ring of Fire, maybe. Do you remember that one? No, not Ring of Fire. It was
I could
Enya.
be wrong.
No,
I could be
Enya.
wrong. I don't.
It was Enya, and it was slow. The whole thing was slow, and it was like all these epic
okay.
crashes.
Yeah,
And
think
I
remember
used to
that.
watch that fall section all the time.
I love that.
This is classic.
I don't. I can't think of it right now, but we can play it. I'll put it up there. I'll put it in.
That was
there.
Relentless. It was the first one. Was Relentless was the first Liquid Force video back in the
Yeah,
day?
the first one was Relentless.
It was Relentless.
Yeah. We did
I don't
Free for
remember that
All.
one.
We did not Free for All. What was never mind.
Truth.
Wait, no, Wide Awake. Wide Awake was the first one.
Mm.
That whenever I was real young. No. Yeah. Went to
Good old
Mexico.
liquid vids.
All liquid vids.
Yeah. On that hot take, though, I do think that I am the minority. It sounds like I am. Or
No,
not
and you
like
can
in
be-
this room. I think worldwide, I think that people like them.
You know what? I
just don't know why I don't.
appreciate the minority view on a situation and say, no, I don't like it. Because like earlier when we were saying the 3-to-1s, I hated the 3-to-1s at first because I was like, let's keep progressing wakeboarding and not like go and then come back. I was like, let's keep going with double flips and not 3-to-1s. Like,
Yeah. So if any of the riders on tour were thinking practicing 1-footers during the off season, I wouldn't bring those on tour
well,
next year.
you got a judge right here that's saying he doesn't like it.
He
so.
hates them.
Hey, you're going up a steep road here.
Yeah.
It was when Luca did his, he asked right after when we were in the water and when he was in the water, he was like, hey, how did that score? And I leaned over to the side. I was like, not good.
Womp, womp, womp.
Not Bosch.
Were you there for that one? I don't know if you were there for that.
I don't know if I was either.
I remember it because you kind of broke his heart a little bit because I think
I
he
did.
was
He was pretty
thinking that
bummed.
it was like super sick.
He did it for the wrong judge.
It probably hurt his heart more because when I was looking at him, I was like, that was fucking sick, dude. And then he looked at Reed and Reed's like, no. And I was like, what? Like, no. I want to just, we don't have to go much into it, but.
Yeah, that's a long hot take.
Oh, this is a hot take. No, I just loved. Yeah, I think we touched on it earlier. Just about the banter we have in the boat. It's so much fun. Like
It is so much fun.
Good times.
We did touch on it earlier. I sort of am forgetting. A little too many beers.
Let's take a
Look at that. I split the B.
Nice.
on the first go.
It's not a Guinness, but it's not a G, but I split the B.
Let's take a little break. All right, and we back. Took a little break. What we got? We got some rapid fire and we got some trivia.
We got a few rapid fires.
Should we do the trivia first? What do you think? A little cheers and trivia.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To trivia.
Is that cheers to trivia? Yeah, we're back. We back in the pocket.
This thing, dude. This thing is so serious.
So psyched on this, dude.
Yeah.
It looks fake. It looks like it's like poured.
It looks like plaster.
It's so
Hey,
sick.
Gators really bring people together.
They really do. Sometimes for the best and worst ways.
It's crazy to think about. Like
A lot of funerals.
you get your
A lot of people.
you get your arm stuck in that,
Can you
and
imagine?
you ain't getting it back.
Nah. What's crazy is I think that their teeth are dull. Like I don't know how they.
these teeth, dude. Tell me those are dull teeth.
That's a dull tooth. I
Yeah,
can
they're
feel
dull.
it.
They're dull, like
I
compared
mean,
to a
obviously, if I was to put my arm in there, I don't want it there. But that's not like a. It's not
gonna cut you.
It's not a dagger.
Not
It's
really
not
a
a
cut-
shark's
cutter.
tooth. Like shark's teeth are like daggers.
All right.
You know?
Well, we're getting straight into trivia right now, and these are Paige, my wife. She came up with these questions right now, and this is closest to the pin. No one, you don't have to like get this right on the head, but it's like whoever gets closest. They're like sometimes you can get it right on the head. Sometimes they're a lot harder to get. You know, so
Sometimes you can just edge them out just by a little bit. You
who
know?
should go first?
I'll go first. I like going first.
You want to go first, Shane?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Question number 1. 5 questions. See who has the most at the end of this. Good luck, boys. Shane. How many teeth can an adult alligator have at one time?
1, 2, 3.
No. Kelly.
I want to say, hold on, let me look.
Be kind of quick here. Shane,
I'm going to say
keep it classy. Keep it classy.
52.
Am I going? Are we going around
no,
the
it's
table?
more.
Yeah, round the table.
65.
Damn, that's pretty nice. I
66.
think- well, yeah.
Price is
Hold
funny.
on.
Yeah. It goes like this.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Oh shit! I'm gonna say 66. No. I was gonna split the difference between y'all. I'll say 58.
I go 66.
66. I feel like Reed's gonna know this one, ladies and gentlemen. 80.
Yeah.
80 teeth.
You should
a
have
gator
gone
can have.
higher.
I
You
should
should have
have. I
gone
should have
higher.
gone
Freaking
higher.
Price
You
is
prices
Right.
righted him, and then you should have prices righted him.
When he
Gone.
went 66, I thought you
True.
were going to go 64 and pinch
I
me
would've
right in
gone
the middle.
70.
When
I
he
would've-
was going,
Congratulations, Reed.
I thought that you were going to price right
that
for a
on
minute,
table.
and then I was going to price is right
I didn't
you,
go about
which
that
would have been bad.
strategically the best way possible.
You didn't. You didn't do that.
But
one
that's the
very
way it goes here. Bonifay Banter trivia.
Nice job,
well.
Gator
All right,
man.
Trevor, you're up now.
What percentage of Florida's population was born in Florida? Ooh, interesting question. What
Like
percentage of
currently?
currently, what percentage of Florida's population was born in Florida?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Kinda
I'm
like
going
this
to
question.
It's got to be
go.
low.
I'm going to go with 12%.
I'm going to say 38%.
I'm going to split you guys a little bit. I'm going to go 20.
38, 20, 15,
I'm gonna go 22.
22. Shane gets 22. Everyone remember those? 32.
32.
Did
that
I
means,
get it? I said 38.
What did you say?
I said 20, so
Yeah.
you got that.
Parks.
Take that one.
No.
Nice.
See, because you got to remember, there's a lot of people that were born in Florida that just can't move out. They just can't leave. You can't
There's
leave.
so many
But
people
they
here
can,
that
but
aren't
it's
from
like,
here.
but it's
I like how
pretty
you just
awesome.
threw a little accent on that whenever you just said
can't leave.
I just can't leave.
I can't leave.
I just
I
love it.
can't leave Polk County.
No, and it's true. Most of the
sunshine.
there's a lot of people that move in here, but most of them just can't leave.
When you think about
I got
like
a
the
pet
biggest
gator.
population areas in the state, though, like there's like nobody from Florida in those big populated areas.
But the other populated areas, everybody's there. It's
true.
They're there for life.
Florida's got so many faces, dude. So
Polk
many
County?
major cities. You get an hour outside of any major city. It's a good old land, dude. You might as well
Yeah.
be in the deep south, dude.
I get it all the time here when I'm building docks. People talk to me about it, and they're like, "It's a surprise when I'm from here." Oh, you're from here?
That's so weird.
Is
Yeah.
that someone from New York? You're building someone from New York.
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
And they're just like, wait,
Oh, you're actually
you're
from
born,
here?
your parents are from here as well.
Yeah.
Nope.
And what blows my mind more is like, what do they think we're going to do? Do they think we're going to move to where they just moved from? Like they just
right.
moved from somewhere and they're living here, and then we live here, and then you're like, yeah, where do you think I'm going to just move to where you just moved
It's
here
January.
from?
I'm neck
This
deep
is-
in the water. with a
You
t-shirt
moved
on.
here for a reason. This is Florida. We love this shit.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Third question. What's the score right now? 1-1. Me and Reed. My first guess. What is the estimated number of alligators in Florida? Damn, this is gotta be kind
That's
of broad, but you never.
crazy.
And no one knows the right answer, maybe of this. But Paige did look something up. She did grab something from the deep, dark web. So we do have a correct answer somewhere on this pad. And I'm gonna say, damn.
I got my number.
I'm gonna say 2 million.
I think you're right.
Yeah, right on the
I think
head.
it is 2 million. Can I say 2 million?
You can point one, but you can press it right at me. I don't. You know what?
Wonder what the internet's going to say. If it would say under 2 million or 1.9 million.
1.9 million. Interesting.
I'm gonna go
Good.
2.3 million.
Bastards.
I'm gonna go high.
I think that the 2 million was the right guess.
It's 2 million.
Yeah. I'm going to pigeonhole myself. I'm going 2.1 right in the middle, which is a dangerous
Oh,
move.
that's a dangerous move, but I like it. It's
Yeah,
bold.
swinging for the fence.
Yeah, dangerous move.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1.3 million.
Oh, really?
I think that's
Wow.
Who did that?
Reed.
Reed got
Yep,
that one
yep.
again on a technicality.
Such bullshit. He hunts these things.
I've always heard it thrown as 2 million, though.
2 million.
Yeah.
I like that we got a good first guess. It's got to be worth something, but nothing here on the Bonifay Banter. Next question, Reed Hansen, you're up.
I don't think I've ever won this game.
What is the highest point in Florida in feet?
The highest point is in the Panhandle.
It's not Bach Tower?
It is the. It is not. It is not the. What is our tower called? Citrus. It's not the Citrus Tower.
Definitely not.
It's Bach Tower.
It is not Sugarloaf Mountain, which is the highest point in peninsular Florida, but it is the highest point in Florida in the Panhandle.
Oh, damn.
And it is.
Reed's bringing
I'm
some
gonna
new
go
facts.
with. I'm gonna go with 256
256 in feet.
feet above sea level.
I'm going to go with 321.
256. 321 from Shane.
330.
330. I'm going to say 280. Get up in that mix. Who has the right answer here? 345 feet.
321.
Damn,
Trev's
Trev
got
on
it.
the board.
Nice.
Your
It
price
is-
is right in me. Damn
Shane.
it.
Oh, wait, so Reed has 2. I have 1. Trevor, you have 1. Shane, how many do you have? Oh. Ghost egg. All right. But there's always one card left and one card left. to get for
Technically,
Shane.
if I get this right on the dot, I get 2 points.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true. Shane, you could tie this up. And if we do it, if we somehow have a tie, there will be a tiebreaker question that we don't know yet. But we will figure it out. Shane, first to guess on this one. It's the largest recorded length of an American alligator.
These are just straight up read questions.
These are straight up weed, Chris.
19 feet.
God damn.
19.
The largest recorded
19
length of an
19
American
feet,
alligator.
2 inches.
All right, thanks, Shane.
Okay.
Thanks for the 2 inches there.
That's all she's got.
17.6.
17.6. Big old gator from both these boys. I'm gonna say 16 feet 9 inches.
The correct answer is
And Reed obviously knows.
I'm going to say
shut it down, Reed. Shut it down,
I'm going
Reed.
to say 15 feet 9 inches, 1,105 pounds.
15 feet 9 inches. Shane, actually, it says 19 feet 2 inches. 2.5 inches.
What?
Shane, Shane,
Oh,
I think you gotta. Shane,
I was only off by. Paige, why'd you have to put a half inch on there? I could have got 2 points right
all
there.
right, Shane, let's say that you tied it up because that was actually. I mean, I don't know.
Honestly, it does say 19 feet 2 inches.
AI is a, I don't know if she has Chat GPT. You feel bad that you didn't get that right?
I feel
You
a
feel
little
ripped
bit.
off and that we're wrong here at her.
Yeah, he's going to pull out his phone. But 19 feet 2 inches. The fact that I added 2 inches.
Gonna have to take
I
that
added
one.
2 inches of that, and 2
So-
2 inches matter.
Just so you guys know where my head was at coming into this, I know you guys do trivia.
Yeah.
This is my Google search
Oh, you on the way here?
on the way here.
Whoa. And it says,
And it says 15 feet 9 inches, weighing in at 1,100.
You know what? I guess it depends on who you ask, Grog or Reed.
It depends on who you ask. I think that it is closer. That might be wrong too.
I think you're more right. I think
but
15
I don't
feet
think that they've-
sounds. I don't
yeah.
think they get bigger. 4 feet bigger than what you think.
The Florida record is in the 14s.
Damn.
The Florida caught record is in the 14s. That
Yeah,
was
the
in
ones that are
Alabama.
losing. All
oh.
right,
I won. I won. I only missed a half inch
No,
there.
we'll say that you're on the board for 2. I'm technically out, so
So it's us two. I hit it on the dot. Parks is giving me the half inch off.
no. Reed wins this.
Okay.
The champion.
All right.
Champion. Congratulations,
Feels good to get a win, guys.
Nice
Feels
win,
good.
Reed.
Reed Hansen.
I don't wanna-
What do you win here? I don't have
We
any
have
scratch
this.
offs that
We
I
have
won.
the skull of a gator.
It's a regive.
We send it back to you. No. Okay. So what do we want our question to be for them? Because I can Google it right now.
I think we did. I think it's established that Reed won.
Yeah, Reed won. Because I only got one.
He has 2. I only
Oh,
have
okay.
one.
I thought y'all both had 2.
No.
My
You
bad.
didn't get it on the.
No, it's
you're
straight
off
up.
by a half
All
inch.
right, we'll give him.
I straight up lost that deal.
Call that
Could
Shane's
you guys imagine if I did say 19 and it would have seemed like me and Paige were conspiring
It sounded like
together.
That is a pretty insane guess, though.
It was weird. And the fact that I added 2 inches onto it, like
It's an
out
insane-
of nowhere. I
it's
just
an
did that
insane-
out of
That's
nowhere.
a pro score.
It's not even a game of inches here at the Bonifay Banter. It's a game of half inches.
Half inches.
It's an insane guess too because that is a large alligator.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, crocodiles. What's the biggest crocodile you think?
I think they're close to 20. Right in the 20 area. I think they're just a couple that have been over 20.
Yeah,
that's where I was going with it.
that's a beast.
I'm just joking. I had no knowledge on what I just threw out a number.
Why do you think that's probably why they live through like so many like ice ages and stuff. And they say like they're one of the oldest creatures because like they probably just like don't they just eat rotting stuff like as like everything would die on the planet?
Yeah.
Like you could like
You
when
just-
everything runs out of food, the gator can just hell, it could become a vegetarian if it wanted to. Like,
Yeah, and wild gator fact is that they can not eat for over a year.
what? That's a hell of a fast.
Pretty crazy.
Be running pretty
So
lean.
like, there's a zoo in I think it's Thailand that they had a bunch of crocs in an enclosure. When they shut the zoo down, they didn't remove the crocs. They're still there,
and they're just like
There's
not
a lot
what
of-
do they eat?
chilling.
Each other.
This was years ago. They eat each other. They eat this like some fish that are left in the pond, and they're still in there.
Crazy.
There's some YouTubers who have snuck in and been like, crocodiles are still here.
That's wild.
It's wild. It's
I've-
wild when you hunt and catch a lot of alligators because inevitably you catch 3-legged alligators that have gotten into battles with
Yeah.
other gators and pulled legs off and stuff.
I've always I've
really
always
just-
thought it was like
Oh, yeah.
Nubby.
I've always thought it would be really cool if like humans had the ability to do what like snakes or gators do and just like have a big meal. Like imagine if we like Thanksgiving's coming up. Imagine if we did Thanksgiving and then you just didn't have to eat for like 2 months.
Till Christmas.
Yeah, you could just take a month off and you just knew you were just packing on and like that day after you ate, you're like not doing anything. You almost can't work. You can't do anything, but you could survive. Like imagine if instead of 3 meals a day, waking up being like breakfast, okay, what do we do for lunch? What do we but like you're like it's the first Monday of the month, we eat and you just eat a shitload, and then for the rest of the month, you don't have to eat anything.
That's how you wish humans were.
I think it would be really beneficial.
Hardcore
convenient.
7-day fast.
I mean, it would.
They might maybe used to have been.
Yeah. Well, I think it would be less beneficial to people that actually work. Like if you were an Amazon worker, they're like, you don't get lunch breaks, you don't get dinner breaks. You actually have to work this much. You know what I mean? Because you're like, eat on your day off. That would suck for them. But I always hate waking up and being like, fuck, breakfast. And then now, like a few hours later, like, what do you want for lunch? I'm like, didn't we just do this? Like, I'm like over figuring out what to eat. Like, let's do one meal and get
It's like
over
vacation with your family. It's just bouncing between restaurants.
It's all you do. It's all you do on vacation.
All right, we just grabbed a bite. What should we get to eat now?
Although on vacation, like, I do love just fucking eating the whole time.
It hits different on the road.
Exactly. It hits different on the road when I have to wake up and go, all right.
But for the record, life would be a lot easier for Shane if he only had to decide when he had to eat every other Monday.
I think it has to do with my wife constantly going, what do we do for dinner? And I go, I don't fucking know. Like I was like, wouldn't
Shane,
this be?
you're a pretty prolific cook though. You like to cook a lot.
I do like to cook.
Like for someone bitching about it so hard right now.
I do
like
appreciate.
you do.
I
cook pretty good.
appreciate eating and cooking, but I don't like figuring the part in between out. Like there's
Tell me
then
what
like,
I'm cooking. I'll cook it.
I'll cook it. Yeah.
Hot take. Eating.
I don't like it.
I like it. Can we
You know
do
what? I'm
away
with you,
with
Trev.
it?
I'm with you.
It's like, can we just do this?
Cold
No.
take.
All right.
Eating.
No. Should we hit him with the rapid fire?
Hit him with it, Shane. All right, we're gonna do quick questions, quick answers
Quick
by
questions, not that
Reed
much.
and Trev on this to wrap up this episode 20 of the Bonifay Banter. We've been in here maybe
A while.
220, 230, dude.
Yeah, we're going deep.
Getting
on
in the
it. We're
pocket,
going
dude. It's
deep
starting to
on
get a little hot. Got the AC cranked to 73, but we still sweating in here.
Still sweating. All right, easy. This should be one you know. Worst crash you've ever had, Trev.
Oh, I got a bunch of them.
But the worst one.
Sorry. You can only do one.
One that stands out just because it's a good story. I was riding doubles with a guy when I was learning how to jump the wakes, and he said, we were standing, he's left forward, I'm right forward. He said, edge out, I'm going to jump the wakes. I heard edge out and jump the wakes. And so
Oh, no.
I edge out, I'm not looking at him at all. And so I'm coming in, he's a lot bigger than me. We hit the wakes at the exact same time. He saw me and picked his board up, and I turned just in time to see the bottom of his board smash me straight in the face, knocked me out cold.
Please tell me there's footage.
No, this was way back in the day.
Way before VH.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Or cameras.
I woke up from being unconscious to my dad just screaming at that dude because my dad was driving the boat.
That's when you know it was real. That's when you know it was real. When Andy's losing his shit.
Yeah,
dude.
he was losing it.
That's pretty good.
I got a pretty funny worst crash as well. It's a little bit longer, but Battle Falls, right after I built it, we were filming a video for Fox. I was just trying to like knock a bunch of tricks out that it basically NBDs for me or whatever. And I just built this thing. I'm like 3 weeks into sessioning it. And I was like, very heel, never done that down a drop before. I'm going to try it. So I got Kilgus filming. Medoc is shooting photos, and then Tony. I remember Tony Agustinak that used to shoot with Kilgus.
Yeah.
They're all three are down on the bottom pond at Battle Falls, and I tried varial heel like 5 or 6 times, and then I stuck it perfect. Never done it before. I look up, Kilgus and Tony are talking to each other, and Medoc is down looking at his phone, and I was like, nobody got that.
No way.
Oh,
dude.
that's brutal.
Holy shit. I would have been so mad.
And I was like, what? And Kilgus like, oh, what happened? What happened? And he's like, just do another one. Blow my knee out.
No.
Oh,
dude.
that's brutal.
That's a very good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was wild. That's the only knee injury I ever
So
had.
you blew, yeah. You
So it was
it
it was like, it wasn't like a real, like not like a you and Trevor, or I think you did too, but you guys did
You
real
can
knees.
say a wakeboarder knee.
Yeah, wakeboard. It was MCL. It healed itself, but it was the whole summer off. It was the worst wake
And the
injury
fact
I've
that
ever
you
had.
had to do it, you just stomped it, and then you had to go back and do it because they were just lollygagging. Ooh, that
That hurt.
Man, that is a brutal one. That is a brutal one. Best wake trip. Best Best trip you've been on, wakeboarding and
Probably one of the most memorable was the super trip to Ireland that me and Trevor did.
Good. Yeah, we did talk about that earlier.
We've got some good stories from that, and that was just an epic. I was like, just getting to travel without my parents, and
tons of
I
Guinness.
went with Trevor to
Love that Guinness.
no parents and the Guinness.
What is yours?
Bunch of good ones, but we did a trip to Australia back when Gravity Games was in Australia, and then the year that they had Worlds in Australia too. And so there was that week-long gap in between the two, and it was like me and JD and Grassman and Hinshaw and all those guys rented a house in Surfers Paradise for a week and hung out. That was a really good trip.
I love that.
Solid early O's, baby.
Yeah.
I love that. Favorite beer? Who wants to go? Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, I'm not picky. Whatever.
All right, I like it. And then
great.
I don't drink.
Yeah, you don't drink. Fair enough.
I have had beer.
I'm not
super against it.
What was your favorite one?
My first beer was a Pabst Blue Ribbon,
Oh, that's a good one.
which actually I kind of like Coors Light.
Coors Light's a great daytime beer.
I didn't really like the PBR, but I had a
PBR is
Coors
bullshit.
later, and I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
This is good.
I kind of think it'd be sick if like you didn't drink, but you were a super like beer snob. You were like, it's the worst beer ever. You're like, this is the best. These are my top 3 beers, and you list them like fucking
Some good
Oregon,
beers.
like fucking independent brewing kind of thing.
But
And you
you're
don't
like-
drink it all, but you just taste it, and like you really are a connoisseur of that.
Me and Reed have had this conversation. I told him that he should get obnoxiously into like craft sodas since he
I
doesn't
would
drink.
love that.
And he's just like, yeah, this is like an original Crush from the 70s.
You know, Dr. Pepper's not really 27 flavors.
It's like a cream soda. It's like a cream soda, but it has like a hint of nutmeg on the end, you know, or like something. No. Okay. What number am I thinking of?
14.
Nope.
7.
No. Well, I think we've talked on it, but biggest gator you've tagged?
12-2.
11-2.
All right.
Solid boys right there.
Yeah, those are some big old dogs. Favorite wake vid?
Wakeboard. Either way, it would be
any of it.
Yeah, section specific. Parks is 12 honkies.
Parks is 12 honkies. Okay, that's good. That's good. Favorite. Well, let's go section. Favorite section.
Favorite section. Also Parks 12 honkies.
Oh,
we wore that.
We wore that tape out. We had a
wore it.
VHS.
Yeah,
Fast
we
forward
wore
that
it
thing.
I love
12
y'all, dude.
honkies.
That's good, and I'm not arguing with you.
But what?
Here's a setup.
But I was in 12 honkies.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, you were breaking rots in the hot sun.
Yeah.
You got tackled
All
by.
right, so that's not.
You had best stunts.
Well,
maybe.
Superman.
If you
the
would
Superman front roll was pretty
If you
unreal.
would have just left it to movies, then you would have been included in the answer because 12 honkies
12
favorite
honkies, yeah.
movie.
I think 12 honkies is probably one of the best videos ever.
It is,
but
100%.
yeah,
Dude, between that and Mayday, we were rotating those
Those are deep.
pretty.
see, it was Switch for me. Switch and 12 honkies is
we
what
did
it was
switch.
for me.
How about
a lot?
the lesser known Randall retrospect? Nobody really talks about that one with
There's
the Cat Stevens soundtrack.
yeah.
The Wind.
I was good.
Me and Minzari wore that thing out.
That was a good long video. Retrospect's like an hour, like 10. It's a long kind of. There's a lot of good sections in that thing too.
Love it. Love me some of that.
What was that shit?
I was just saying, love me some of that. Love me some of that. I was trying to read and talk at the same time. Favorite rider of all time.
Sounds like these questions are rapid, not so fire anymore, Shane.
I mean,
I'm just
it's hard to come
I'm
up with
just
new
fucking-
shit every
I'm just
time.
fucking-
Yeah. Are we talking all-time favorite or current?
All
favorite?
time. All time.
Parks.
You guys are just kissing
Yeah,
ass.
it's Ben Horan and Parks.
Oh, you
wakeskate and
guys are
wakeboarding.
fucking. All right, this one's
y'all
for
can
you,
come on the
Parks.
Bonifay Banter anytime y'all want to.
Yeah. This one's for you, Parks, and I think you know what I'm asking. But which Ninja Turtle are these guys?
Interesting question. Did y'all like Ninja Turtles?
They're on our same age frame. So I
Were you
believe-
allowed to watch Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I was. You probably weren't.
I
Right?
wasn't.
Did you have
So-
a favorite?
Did Art?
Okay.
Yeah.
And you had a favorite.
I never even got to watch Ninja Turtles. Our dad was so strict with watching TV back in the day.
Even Ninja Turtles,
Dude,
Andy? Come on, Andy.
Hey, you're talking about some witchcraft turtles that are talking, living
Some
down in the
nuclear,
swamp.
sketchy April O'Neil.
That's-
dude.
that sounds
Looking
like it's
back
from the
on it,
Beatles.
it does seem
Now that you say
seem
it,
questionable.
My kids are definitely.
I
not
was the
watching.
youngest too, and I got away with a lot more than Trevor did.
All right.
All right.
And then my-
So
we-
maybe it
my
doesn't
parents-
work. Maybe it doesn't work.
I'm gonna say Leonardo Michelangelo.
What was your favorite?
Donatello.
I don't know their names.
Andy.
I don't know their names. You get the fuck out of here right now. No.
Sometimes I just think that the younger brothers automatically Michelangelo.
No, it
to shame.
has to hit a certain demographic of somebody that actually watched and appreciated to understand. And you weren't in there. You barely were. But,
But he was
Michelangelo. Michelangelo.
No, Donatello.
No,
That was
he's-
Donatello.
Donatello.
I thought he's. Oh, never mind. Favorite favorite
I wouldn't
concert.
go pounding no Michelangelo pounds.
No, I was definitely Michelangelo. Everybody knows that shit.
Michelangelo sucked.
No, he did not. He was the one that carried the party. He was the one that carried the party. Favorite concert or concert you never went to?
I went to Blink 182 Cypress Hill show. That was
That sounds
pretty
sick.
Pretty sick. Yeah.
That sounds pretty sick.
Yeah.
I went to Hank Jr. last year,
Hank Jr. is amazing.
and that was so sick.
Dude, Hank
God.
Jr. Where'd you see him at?
In Shreveport, Louisiana, his hometown. And
You don't travel far for a concert nowadays, I'd imagine.
he was talking about it was middle
Unless I
middle.
drive 15 minutes, I ain't going to the
It was the middle of turkey season, and he talked about how he set it up in his hometown because it's turkey season. He's not leaving his hometown.
Dude, smart man. After all these years, you're going to know how to do it.
Yeah,
I love Blink 182. That's a solid one.
That was a good
And
show.
Cypress Hill opened up for it,
Cypress
too?
Hill was awesome.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
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 I,
that was
I
good.
love
be
that
fun.
there's something I saw and I love this. It was an Instagram thing, but it was a mariachi band that's called Blink 182. And they just cover Blink 182 songs. And I was like, that's genius.
Hey, I'd watch
that's
that.
genius. And like loved it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Best sandwich?
Man, do you guys remember the Tom Turkey from Chef's Table down here back in the day?
I do.
Yeah. It's a good sandwich.
Dude, they were only open for like 3 years when I moved here in, I think, 07.
Yeah.
And I think by like 2009, 2008, I think they were like,
That was a good.
gone.
Well, they moved locations and they should.
You guys remember Deli Planet?
Oh yeah.
Deli Planet had the Grub Star.
the Grub Star. Yeah.
It was not that good of a sandwich, but they had
the
they had
owner-
a lot of good
I
sandwiches.
didn't want to say it. I was
The
a little
owner made a deal
disappointed,
with
but
Grub that if he ate every sandwich on the menu,
It was
that she would
40
give,
it was-
yeah, he would, yeah, it was like 40 subs. She would give him his signature sub, and he
And you
fucking
did it. And you did it. I give him credit. What about you? Favorite sandwich?
I'm gonna go with the classic chicken tender sub from Publix.
Respect.
Yes, I mean, I think he does that
hard to
just to
beat
not
that.
get ousted by certain Florida peeps. You
Yeah.
can like, you say the wrong answer there, you don't say that sub or something from Publix, you can be like ousted in some circles.
you
It
show up
sounds
with
crazy if people hear that, but it's true.
show up with like a Winn-Dixie
It's true.
sandwich.
You get cut.
Real quick,
Achilles.
Last
Force
time
hit my ass.
last time you barefooted.
I barefooted behind a little dinghy in the BVI's with like a 30 horse on it,
Damn, that's impressive. How fast were you going?
as fast as it would go. And when I say that I barefooted, it was close to not being barefooted. I never
Just
quite
plowing
got
just
the board
plowing.
out from underneath my waist, but I, was
your
giving it
feet
my
were
all.
foot, you know.
Yeah.
I wish I had a good answer for this, but it was like last year.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a
that's
solid
good.
answer.
That's
Dude.
good.
Ain't nothing
That's
wrong
good.
with barefooting sooner or later, dude.
Happiest point in your life.
Right now.
Ah, shit. You old dog.
Right.
I will say cliche answer, but the most out of body weirdest was holding my daughter for the first time.
Yeah. I mean,
That was a big one.
I thought you would say that too, but
Well, I'm more mean like the stage of life that I'm in currently. Like
I thought you were talking about the Bonifay
Yeah.
Banter episode,
obviously,
right?
obviously, yeah.
No.
But like my daughters are 12 and 15, and
so it's like
That is
long
great.
enough that you have almost
he's way
forgot.
past that stage. I'm right in it. I just had another one.
You're in the
I
pocket.
just bought my daughter her first car, so we're like
Well
on the
past that.
opposite end of that deal.
That's almost perfect. You're like, you know, that's like prime time, still young,
It's
on
fun.
the leg, and then
Yeah,
18, they're out of the house, and you can sleep on the couch naked if you want.
exactly.
I've thought a lot where like the idea of like who of us is going to have a kid first, and I think as of right now we both think we know what this is like, and then one of us is going to have a kid first, and then we're going to get this because I realize the realization is like drastic. You're like, oh shit, like this is crazy. No, I think I do, but I think if I have a kid first, then Parks is going to just kind of be like, whoa, what the, like, that's crazy. And then the same for him. Like, if he has a kid first, I'm going to be like, oh shit, I don't know if I want to do this thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm waiting because I know one of us is going to have the kid first and the other person's going to go, fuck, that seems crazy. Like,
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is.
We did some crazy
We
shit.
all know it's wild, but I think it will hit closer to home when one of us has.
Yeah, and it's so true. Like people told me a million times how crazy it was, and then it still was mind blowing.
Yeah.
was
No,
like,
yeah.
oh.
Doesn't matter of what you think of it. Like I've always thought, I always know I know it's going to be crazy, but as soon as it's blood, I'm oh shit.
Were you think that you know who's going to have one first? Is that what you were saying?
No, we don't. I don't know
Okay.
who's.
Is it a race? Are we racing?
No, we're not racing.
We're both. I think we're both lost this race. If it's a race,
I think it's an
there are
idea.
still a couple of runners in the marathon. 90%.
We're at that point. We're at that point when the marathon's like there's nobody that's crossed the finish line in a long time, but like
they're still running,
somebody,
but we're still running.
Somebody's still looking at the clock, going, "Jesus, we still got a few people out there, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, there's still. We haven't even seen them around the corner
Uber Eats,
yet."
Uber
But
Eats.
they're like, "All right, I guess we got to stay here until the last runner's finished." Favorite Bonifay. Doesn't have to be either one of us. Could be any of them. There's a lot of them.
There are a lot of you guys.
For what?
Favorite Bonifay.
I already said he was my favorite wakeboarder.
Yeah. You want
So
want
you
more of
think
this,
that
Shane?
Parks is better than Paul Bonifay?
No, I'm saying that's like in wakeboarding.
Yeah,
But,
no.
like,
Favorite Bonifay.
I ran into Paul
Close.
randomly on the street a couple weeks ago. We talked for about a half an hour. It was great.
Yeah.
And then after he
Sounds
touched
like a
me,
winner.
and then after he touched me a lot, he was like, "I'm actually really sick right now."
See, that's my favorite person in the world. Like that's a great
I
one.
thought that's
Bunch of
pretty funny.
handshakes and hugs,
Yeah,
and then he
exactly.
coughs on you. He's
Yeah.
like, sorry, I got COVID right now.
I'm going Betty.
Betty's the correct. Obviously, Paul's great. Peter B's
B.
amazing. Love Peter B.
I think I'd go Peter B too, just because
Peter B.
it was always great running into him at the contests and stuff.
All right.
back in the days.
And we don't really have to answer this one. It's just sort of to finish it off. But it's like, do you really think Jurassic Park was possible? Like the concept of like them getting this DNA from these like mosquitoes, and then like the concept of that I get to is, so they make the eggs, they raise these things, but then when we see them on the islands, they're like, they have to be almost 100 years old. Like the Brontosaurus, the T-Rex, it's fully grown. That was 30 years ago. That thing's 30 years old, right? Like, so they were working on Jurassic Park 30 years before they ever even brought, it just doesn't make sense to me. So where do we stand on this?
I think that the theory is sound.
The theory is possible.
Shane,
but
you think Steven Spielberg or whoever Michael Crichton wrote that,
Okay.
whoever wrote that, like you think they came up with that? You don't think this theory existed before?
My
like,
point-
Jurassic
How
Park?
do you know that they had that long of a lifespan?
my point is how old do you think the T-Rex in Jurassic Park is? Like the full grown.
You know, when we're comparing it to this,
Yeah.
the 10-footer, or, you know, the
That's what-
12-footer
that's
has
where
to
I'm
be
sort of
60,
leaning
70
on
years
this.
old. So is a biology of that dinosaur similar to the dinosaurs that we have
Okay,
here?
so if they did Jurassic Park and we showed up and they showed where the movie picks up is like a bunch of tiny dinosaurs, then I get it. And they're like, oh, look, we've created these things and they're all babies because we just came up with this technology like 3 or 4 years ago. And they're like 3 or 4 years old.
I don't
But
get what the question is. Are you talking about like extracting the DNA from the mosquito from the sap?
sort
You
of
think-
a
Are you saying
convoluted
that-
question. It's like there's multiple layers to it because
The
my
movie
point
is unrealistic.
The point is that they had this
They've done
technology
this to a woolly
and they
mammoth,
started-
right? Like they found like
But they don't have a fully grown woolly mammoth.
No, and permafrost they found like woolly mammoth DNA, and they like I think they actually
No, you can make it. I'm not saying
they make
it's
it
not
on?
impossible
I think
to
that's,
make
I
the
think
thing.
that's on the
They,
menu.
they just did it to a dire wolf.
Yeah, I'm not saying the technology is not possible. I'm saying the idea that these are fully grown dinosaurs. And we are now getting, and they're like,
You're
we
right,
just
but
did this.
it
And the
could
park's
work.
not quite done yet. And it's like, so this is like a concept that you've been working on for like 3 or 4 years. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, so how is the T-Rex 40 feet tall?
Right, and he would have had to been 90.
Yeah,
years
he would have
old.
had to been
There-
old.
I mean,
He
How
would have
much,
had to been
how
old.
much calories would that thing have to consume
Dude,
to
so
grow
much,
that
so
much?
much. Yeah.
But have you seen some of the stuff that they're saying that dinosaurs much more resembled birds than they did dinosaurs?
Yeah, I
the way
believe
we
that
think
for
of them?
sure.
Checks
Hollow
out. It's coming
bones.
too.
So if we're talking about like the lifespan of a chicken, which is also a little dinosaur, then maybe they do grow that fast.
Let's go sandhill crane.
That's
You look at
This
those
is
things
starting
walk.
to make
That's a
sense.
pretty much. You give those things little arms out front, and you watch the way the way they. You look at
even
their.
sounds
that's
like
a
a
good-
velociraptor.
That's a pretty damn good.
it actually
sandhill crane.
does sound like it.
That's a really good one.
Might
man.
be actually messing me up right here because I was like,
Yeah, you look at their feet; they are definitely. And if
I
all
think they're
dinosaurs
birds.
had like
I think
some
they're
type
in
of
the bird.
feathers, maybe not like all of them had like scales and like maybe they are a little more.
I don't think. Yeah, it's hard to argue that it's more of a reptile than
would
a
like to
bird
think it's
because I think the
Tyrannosaurus
bird
Rex.
and the idea that most of them the bones weren't found because they're hollow bones. Those things just disappear.
That ain't hollow.
This ain't, dude. This is dead.
I think it's very dense, not hollow at all.
You hear that? You hear that, Shane?
I hear it. All right,
I don't know where-
that was it.
All right. Well, let's hear the comments on what you think about Shane's fucking Jurassic Park question or theory. Or
That's a wild ender to the rapid because it was a really long.
I think it was a good full
Conversation
circle though,
about it,
because
yeah.
we brought
Well,
this back into play.
You know
And
what?
maybe that's where you're going with it, Shane.
You know where it
Full
comes
circle.
from is the parks just doesn't let me go off on some good rants every
I
now and
do.
then.
We
we
ran
have
off
to.
on-
Well, you let me go off on rants, but I have to like pigeonhole it into. I have to find like I can't like he can't be talking about Battle Falls and then me be like, what do you
What
think
about
about
dinosaurs?"
dinosaurs? Like these are fucking weird, right? You know, like so it takes me.
It takes a while to get to
Yeah,
it.
I got to get
Your-
there. I got to
your
get
tism
there.
is showing.
Hey, started the pod with dinosaurs, ended with dinosaurs.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
like it.
And that's a good comedian. Full
that-
circle
It
wrap
is,
up, Shane.
yeah.
That ender was Bosch.
Yeah, there we go. Is that the first time? Ladies and gentlemen,
Am I using it correctly?
Luca Kid's been trying
Hey.
to get Reed to say this new word, Bosch, and
I
Reed's wanted no
guarantee-
part of it. All the boys are saying it. Everybody's saying it except Reed.
I guarantee you, Sam and Luca would listen to this podcast and go,
Bosch.
All right, well, boys,
Thank
Trev,
you.
Dude,
Reed,
thank you guys for having us.
solid times.
Thank you.
Thank you for this Gator head, and thank you for supplying Top Shelf member the big win tonight. This will be shipped out along with Supra supplying the sweatshirts for this.
Hey, before we wrap it up,
Yeah.
I got one
Take us out, Reed.
one quick for you. Would Wake Bros have made it if the Sovins, the Bonifays, the Hansens, the Haneys,
Oh man,
if everybody was
was
involved?
Dude, you know what? And it honestly
All
could've-
the Wake Bros, because
it
there's a
honestly-
lot of them.
that's a lot
Hey,
of characters.
if there's
but
anything I
think-
know about housewives, they fucking thrive. And we could have been, it could have been a Wake Bros like these bros versus like not verse these
'Cause you
bros,
can
but,
only
like,
watch
well,
Phil
then we
for
all
so
get
long.
together.
Well, it's
no,
like even like some shitty shows like like Love Island. Let's give that. Like it's not just about like 3 or 4
Two,
characters.
yeah.
5 characters. Like it is. It's
the whole-
a lot of them get a lot more play, but there is layers and layers to that show. So maybe you're right, Reed. Maybe if they brought all the brothers, the drums, maybe everyone in on that
Stuckies.
thing. Stuckies.
You know what? Hey, let's stop with all of those. Like the
Maybe
Heenies
that-
don't need to be involved. The Jeromes, they were later on. None of that.
They were
at
they
that
were the
moment. At that moment, it would have been
Yeah.
us two, you two, and the Sovins. Which, you know, we could have got rid of Phil at a certain point, but it should have been about the bro. No, I'm just joking. No, for sure,
Damn,
for sure. I think it would have
take
been.
at the end. I don't know what the answer to that is.
It would have
Something
worked
to
way
think
better.
about. I think
it would have worked
better.
way better.
Wake Bros only made it, I think, 6 episodes. So I think we could have
We'd be-
possibly done a little better than that.
We could have done 7
We'd
at
be
least.
we'd be on season 12 right now.
Yeah, and then
maybe
we would have
had
had
to go to TNT or something, or maybe like
maybe
Discovery
Andy Cohen.
Network or
If
something.
Andy Cohen would have figured out what we got going on, he would have been like, "Let's get this going on," and then we could have even had offshoot shows like where it's like the boys down in here and like what. I watch enough
Side
of
note,
those.
Polk
Sorry.
County.
the real Wake Bros of Wake Bros.
The pros of the Wake Bros. Yeah.
Fake Wake Bros.
All right, boys. Oh man,
Thank you guys for having
dude,
us.
that was a solid one. Episode 20. Subscribe. We say that, but like we're almost to 1,000.
Yeah, we got to get to 1,000, guys. Got to get to 1,000. Thank you so
Getting there.
much.
We sound like we're begging, but we are begging.
I'm begging.
Subscribe to those things, dude. Hit it.
Yeah, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Episode was it 20
20.
in the books? Gators and tails.